This year, 337 recruits have completed training. That's a first-time pass rate of 99.7%, which is incredibly high.
So we have a philosophy on this ship called the Way of the Warrior Sailor. It argues that in order to create morale, you must love and value everybody.
This beam here came from HMS Indefatigable. The beams from the Armada were eventually integrated into the pub.
So, I can only apologise for that power cut, but we are back. That was an eventful one for me, just as Envy scored that disgusting little flicked effort. And we are at the point of a triple match point here for the RAF Storm Shadows after going up a second game against the Royal Navy Esports first team. And straight back into the action we go. Hope that hasn't been too much of an interruption to your evening's entertainment. I do apologise for that. I know, right, Psycho? I know, bro. Honestly, bro. Block life. This is block life, you know? It is what it is. Envy will just cut for mid boost and actually not get the mid boost, so go back for back boost in the end as he beats Horizons. Fakes a second as well. Plays it infield towards P. P's beaten to it by a Stimple. 2-1, a close scoreline for Navy as well. They've done very, very well to remain in touch with the Storm Shadows, and arguably could have been equal or level terms there from what I saw towards the end, though I did miss about pretty much all of that second game. Envy, chance to shoot, closed down nicely by Stimple. Stimple again, infield it goes. Chance for Poggy. Just a bit too high on the shot, but it was a wonderfully worked effort as well between Stimple and Poggy. And Horizons just tips that one to the side. Stimple beats Cedric. Horizons onto the temporarily empty net of the Storm Shadows, but P done enough. The Storm Shadows weathering some Navy pressure here. Cedric chases. Stimple commits. Horizons, oh my god, it's a double opportunity. Oh, he's almost had it. The lineup was there. Horizons' his moment to shine. So unfortunate. Envy just rushes Horizons, doesn't give him any time or respect. And that is the price you pay. Envy opening the scoring here. Plenty of time, of course, for the Navy team to work with. This won't be their undoing, shall we say. It's Horizons shot on net. It will make it very, very awkward for Envy, who somehow reads it. Chain dashes off the ceiling, back towards the ground, and he's ready for the next play. P jumps for it. Up he goes. Horizons cleverly waiting on the side. Leaves it for Poggy. Cedric beats Envy, beats Stimble as well. Poggy there for the attempt, but P closes it down. Shooting opportunity, Horizons has to get there, and does. Nicely worked save by Horizons. It's a really good pinch, and Envy adjusts well as well. P can't follow up with a shot on target, and Navy can break here. They've got to escape out of their defense. They're just being pinned back by a robust Storm Shadows press. They had a chance there. They threw two men at it, and it means Horizons was temporarily on his own, but he did so well there to put the pressure straight back onto the Storm Shadows net. Maybe a chance here. The shot was a good one from Poggy. Stimple follows up. A bit of lag, and P comes away with it. No corner read. It bounces down. Envy gets there almost. P looks infield, looking to make Horizons awkward, but again he deals with it. Absolute defensive wall Horizons has been here for the Royal Navy. Envy can't quite find the skim. Shooting opportunity for Stimple, and instead P plays the clearance to Envy, who plays it back to P, and Cedric finishes it off with a shot, and it's a superb save by Poggy. End-to-end stuff here as we encroach into the second half of the game. Envy collects the reset, collects a ghost touch, and Poggy keeps the press alive here. They're searching for an equalizer. It may be coming. There's Horizons at the far post. And the Royal Navy find their equalizer. They're rewarded for their patience and discipline. and let the wows flow into the top left. As Poggy and P kick us off once more. Envy, one reset, into a musty, beats Horizons. Stimple though gets there in front of P. Cedric, little to no boost, has to just commit full, and he does. Smart defending once more by Cedric. Envy with a bang. P waiting high. Cedric in field. Oh, it's going to be open if Poggy can get a demo on P, but no, P was just a little bit too quick. Poggy had no boost. And still the lead persists. The ball where it needs to be right now for the Navy. Good challenge by Poggy. Envy rises for it. In field it goes towards P. P with a good touch. I thought Envy would have been there, but I think he rotated out on the other side of our on the camera blind side there. Cedric. Horizons. Envy goes up. You don't want to give this man too much time in the air. Doesn't get the reset. Gets enough of a second touch to cause some real drama. And it's well saved again by this Navy defense that has been rock solid this game. They have been superb in their own final third. And they managed them to break away as well. P left a little bit awkward here on his own. Poggy, can he find the bump? He cannot. And it means P can find Horizon's car and remove him from the map. And they're pushing for the second. Into now pretty much the final 30 seconds of play here. Oh, it's a really well read 50 by Horizons, and it does find the back of the net, and 2-1 they take the lead. Just got to hold it now. And if they can hold it, they'll score themselves a game in the series. Can they do it? It's a fake play. It's P into Envy towards Cedric. The pass is phenomenal. The shot even better. And a superb last-ditch save by Poggy. Had to get there. Did get there. And he may have just rescued this game for the Royal Navy. The creativity from the Storm Shadows really, really good. But the defensive play from Poggy for the Navy even better. Has he won it for his team? P beats Poggy there again, and he has been my man of the match so far for the Royal Navy Esports team. And they do, that's the wrong graphic, I do apologise. That has reset since the Battle Cup for whatever reason on OBS, I will fix that. But the Navy doing what they do best, which is defending well and punishing the Storm Shadows on the counter-attack. Nicely done. And they'll be absolutely buzzing with that. And for those of you rejoining us, it is 2-1 in the series between the Storm Shadows and the Royal Navy Esports side. Do you know what? Whilst we are in this slight intermission, I am going to use this time to change it. There we go. And we should be good to go again. So then we'll go quick little glance of the stats as we wait for Tyler to ready up. It was that man Poggy who popped up. Horizon, who popped up with the goals, but Poggy with that outstanding defensive piece at the end of that from that fake play to win it and secure the win for the Storm Shadows. I think they go hunting immediately for the win here in the next game. P has the soft touch to himself. Stimple's there. Lovely pass infield towards Poggy. The shot, a good one, but P equal to it. He will try to collect the boost. Didn't quite get it. Good 50 as well by Pierce. And Horizons will just flick that one down the line, and the Navy can advance up the pitch. They commit 2 Storm Shadows players. Poggy can't beat Cedric. Cedric looking for a fake, but it falls to Envy now. Looking for Captain Cedric. Cedric with a nice redirect from the right-hand side of the goal. Central into the back of the net, and I think it was Stimple isolated on his own there. Couldn't do much. Couldn't do much to save that one. It's a difficult one to read. Does he go near post? Does he go far post? Or does he simply go central? It's one of those where you just have to take a risk. And the Storm Shadows open the scoring. Navy almost finding an equalizer pretty much straight away. Horizon's shot saved by Envy. Wonder what the comms of this Navy side is like at the moment. I wonder what the vibes are like. They're a team full of experience, to be fair. I can't call this a new roster, barring maybe Poggy. You know, if there's any Navy players that can tell me where Poggy has come from, whether he's a new player or not. I feel like I've seen his name before, realistically, as Envy with a really nice fake. But I don't think this is an inexperienced Royal Navy Esports roster. They're showing their class here. And I know they're a team that likes to have fun. They like to enjoy the game and enjoy each other's company. Certainly hope we'll be seeing them at this year's Allied Forces Esports Invitational, which of course happening next month in the Netherlands. 2 RAF teams will travel, and unfortunately I have to sub for the RAF Storm Shadows, sorry, not for the Storm Shadows, for the RAF Management FC, traveling to the event, which is me, Cedric and P. The Tempests, who will be called the Storm Shadows for the event, also travel, looking to take a game or two, even a series, maybe off the American team that has dominated the AFI across the last 3 years. This 4th iteration, I can now confirm it for those who don't know, is to be in the Team Liquid Alienware training facility, which is the home of Team Liquid Esports across all of their esports titles, League of Legends, Rocket League, Counter-Strike. A historic venue that we get to grace with our presence in June. So stay tuned for the tournament there on the 20th to the 22nd of June, which you can catch live on the Air Force Gaming YouTube and Twitch channels. Quick water break for me. So here we go then. 2-0 to the RAF Storm Shadows. Can they see this lead out? Cedric into the corner. Back it comes the way of Envy via Horizons. Doesn't get the touch, but P there to read it. People challenge again. Poggy with a misread. Unlike him, he's been pretty solid all series long. Cedric infield it goes. Cleared by Stimple. Envy just delays and delays and delays and just baits in Stimple, who must have thought he had no boost. A smart play by the young Brit, and it's an equally good pass out, and Cedric finishes it off 3-0, and some may argue game, set and match. I'm not quite to that point just yet, given the chances that the Navy can create and that they've shown that they can create. Hiya Trin. How you doing, Trin? You good, bro? Is your lower bracket game done? Did you guys win? And Cedric combines with Envy. Oh, it's wonderfully worked again! It was P to Cedric and... Sorry, to Envy, and Envy, with limited boost, just glances it the way of Cedric. And then make it count for 4. Always been a long day, says Trin. Seen in the chat, mate. I hope everything is good. I hope you're going to enjoy your sleep tonight. And you play the loser of this game. So looking like it's going to be the Royal Navy Esports side against the Nighthawks in the lower bracket run, if it remains, of course, 4-0. Cedric soft touches. Infield it goes to Horizons. Tries to fake it. Was the right play. He's got a bit of a heavy touch. And Envy presses. P there again. Finds a shot at the near post. Away it goes. Envy collects boost. Soft touch onto the back ball. Double touch is on. Drops it down for Cedric. And Poggy cannot prevent the 5th goal going in. The Storm Shadows running riot now on a Navy side that has been nothing short of defensively sound the majority of the series, but they've just been opened up here in the last game, courtesy of some magic from the RAF Storm Shadows. Remember, all teams in the top 8 will be scoring a decent round of points, to be fair. So even teams getting knocked out in the top 8 spot won't be too disheartened by the points that they will score towards that all-important Interservice December LAN qualification. Envy. Touch onto the ceiling. Gets the reset. Gets the second reset. Finds a shot on net as well, or was he bumped into it? Didn't quite get a clear view of it. The ball firmly inside the Royal Navy penalty area. They can't quite escape it. They do now. And P with a rare whiff. I can just picture P's reaction. And he went for the backwards flip, it would seem, to play the ball into his own crossbar in a way. But he didn't connect with the ball. And the Navy have a goal for the road here. Can they find one more for good measure? Or can P make up for the mistake? Gets past one. Hasn't got the flip. Hasn't got the second touch, sorry. Evie commits with Cedric, and Stimble can have one more shot on goal. Poggy can follow it up. It's a good demo. A good follow, sorry. And the Royal Navy can't find the second. They've been bested here by the RAF Storm Shadows, but a fantastic attempt and fight back spirit from the Navy nevertheless, who are looking much a stronger side than their outfit last year. They'll be looking forward to their next game in the lower bracket against the RAF Nighthawks, but that brings to an end this upper round game now, and the Storm Shadows progress to the semi-finals. And who will they meet? I believe it's going to be a strong matchup next between the Storm Shadows and the Tempest, from what I know, but we'll confirm all of that for you off stream now in a very short break, and we're back with you soon.
BFBS Forces News join KFOR patrols in the north of Kosovo.
We're here to create a safe and secure environment for the people in Kosovo and the people of Kosovo.
Our job, fly and fight from the home base, and we've got to be able to do that in whatever conditions.
This training is mutually beneficial to both sides. For the riflemen themselves, it's about getting that valuable training in the desert.
At the heart of Lympstone Parade Square, the King's Squad, and there could be no more special guest of honour than His Majesty the King.
And whilst I'm not moving the controls at all, I can certainly learn from what I'm seeing as to how a manoeuvre should be flown.
This year, 337 recruits have completed training. That's a first-time pass rate of 99.7%, which is incredibly high.
So we have a philosophy on the ship called the Way of the Warrior Sailor. It argues that in order to create morale, you must love and value everybody.
This beam here came from HMS Indefatigable. The beams from the Armada were eventually integrated into the pub.
At BFBS Creative, we are creative storytellers. We are specialists in unravelling the untold, even from the most difficult locations. We help you reach the audiences you need to reach. From documentary interviews to addressing communication hurdles and crafting your content strategy, we can do it all. We thrive in the toughest environments, ensuring your stories are told brilliantly.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the RAF Storm Shadows channel. I am once again joined by the immeasurably enthusiastic Roman in the commentary box this evening, Roman. And as you can see on your screens there, it is the RAF Storm Shadows taking on the Army Esports side. A fascinating insight into what we might come to expect in the Interservices. But for tonight, it's the Armed Forces Dungeon League. Let's get this show started.
Carries this forward, gets 50 with Fraz. Ed gets into that one. Envy tucks it away. And as I say, they need an opening goal. They have managed to get one here, 1-0.
Frazic, though, does some nice defensive work. But P finds Cedric. Cedric finds Envy. Beautiful stuff from the RAF Storm Shadows. 2-0.
Approximately a minute and a half left to go. Envy goes for a pass to P. P with a shot. P with a goal. Tucked away in the top left corner. 2-1 to the RAF Storm Shadows. And they are shining through here after the Army. They've struggled to rotate. They struggled to get into position after kickoff. And P managing to give the RAF Storm Shadows that advantage
Didn't
again.
have a lot to work with, didn't have a lot of the goal to aim at, but he put it in the one place that it was going to go to, and Cedric makes it 3! And the floodgates are beginning to open here for the RAF Storm Shadows. A great 30-second burst, and now they've just got to hold it, or even go for more.
Air power wins matches in Rocket League, and you can't tell me otherwise, as Ed will tuck that one away, and the Storm Shadows have the advantage here with 3 minutes left to go. Nothing about air superiority there. P just managing to get a pass across. A very strong 50 indeed, and Ed had an entire net to tuck it away. 1-0 to the Storm Shadows, and the Army, they've been crumbling since game 3. To control this one and take it downfield, intercepted immediately by Ed, and this pressure from the Storm Shadows has been relentless, and Envy, the man from Cosford, will tip this away to make it 2-0, and almost an improbable comeback for the Army to try and pull off with 90 seconds left to go. The way they've been playing, the RAF Storm Shadows, they're currently unstoppable.
The RAF Storm Shadows, an incredible goal. They've done it again, and it's 2-0 now, and it's 3-0 now. The lead looking unassailable.
Away, gives Ed some time here on the sidewall, gets it up. P is on the backboard lurking. Is Ed going to get this one away? No, but Envy's going to be there. Envy's going to tuck it away. It's 4-1 to the RAF Storm Shadows. Rose-tinted glasses are on, and I don't care. It is game over. The RAF have trampled the Army. 4-1, could be 5-1. I don't care what the scoreline is. It's going to be game over with 1:06 left to go. You're going to have me in the commentary box. I'm going to be hyping the boys the entire time, not just the Storm Shadows, the Sentinels and the Shadows as well, as this game comes to a close with almost P tucking away a very nice shot there, just drops at the death. Storm Shadows 3, the Army Sparrows 1, and well, the Storm Shadows did it in fashion late on.
Hi, I'm AS1T Stelios Elia. In-game, I'm known as SE1997.
Corporal Elliot Greenwood, and in-game I'm known as G-Wood.
My name is AS1 Tech Edward Nussyweight, otherwise known as Cedric in-game.
It's already looking like they've upped the bar from last year, which is a really tough job to even do that. We are looking forward, not just myself, but as a team, to going out on that stage and representing the Royal Air Force as best as we can.
Playing up on a stage like this is the first time. We had a thing called Rank A, where it was all the top players played against each other, and then we picked our teams. I've finally made it into the first team after a lot of hard work.
Both my teammates are really talented. We gel super well. Really looking forward to playing with them on stage and seeing what we can do.
From my end, the leadership were outstanding, no issues at all.
Not just from my own personal line management, but also the Royal Air Force Esports Association backed us very well, I should say, and made sure we had all the support we needed to get here, and they're always a phone call away if we do need them for anything.
Really excited to play Coast Guard. It'll be closer than everyone thinks. After playing them, we think we stand a bit of a fighting chance.
The second Air Force team, emphasis on second now. We're a solid team, really good players who could do some damage for sure.
Although we are in different forces across NATO, we are colleagues, so it's nice to meet them in person and just have a laugh and play against them and hopefully beat them as well.
You ready? AFG, you're washed.
Coast Guard, you ain't as good as you think you are. We're coming for you.
Space Force, stick to mini golf.
We're going to win it.
No, we're not.
We're going to win it. We're going all the way.
I thought it was good
until I saw them play. The Americans will never hear the end of it if we end up winning somehow.
Look, I'll shake on it. You know me, I don't drink. I will drink heavily if we win.
That the pressure put down. Stelios with no boost thrown into corner will be wildly out of position. G-Wood needs to put it to the air. Don't go towards net on this one. Instead, Cedric go for the double touch. It's a beautiful finisher. 19 seconds into OT, and the RAF already going to match point.
That's right, boys. Once again, I'm joined alongside none other than Stelios. Stelios, at the very start of that matchup, you pointed out the fact that the strategy was aggression, was confidence. Do you personally feel like you guys delivered on all fronts?
Yeah, it was a series that we just stuck to the plan and executed it to perfection. I felt really good myself. I felt the other boys also played their part individually, and then we executed the plan as a team together. It was almost perfection, which means we've got to live up to that in the next round as well. So we can't just rest on our laurels. We've got to take it forward.
Well, for you personally, you were the first one to score goals across, I think, 2 or 3 of those matches that we saw there as well. Was that part of the game plan for you to be the force of nature, as it were, in this matchup?
I'm certainly a force of nature, but usually not in front of goal. It's usually Cedric or G-Wood that are bagging the goals when it counts. However, the way we're set up is it doesn't matter who has the chance to score. It could be any one of us. The way we play, we create spaces for anyone to score. And it just so happened that it was me that was in the prime position to put it in the back of the net, and thankfully I did.
Half, but not for too much longer. Sentinels have broken free, although only momentarily. Now into the retreat, Cedric and Asher, not for the first time today, failing to meet the problem at the source.
That's Cedric though. Air gets just the tiniest of the resets on that ball, but it pushes it just over the edge where Asher cannot grab it.
And there's an equal response from Sames. Asher in the interception, but straight to G-Wood. Oh, and he shoots just past the post. Stelios! 2-2 at last. Another sucker punch. How strong is that proverbial jawline? And actually, you can see the severity of the situation. There's no smiles. And Sames, again, waits it out. Stelios now looking for Cedric. Oh, that's a beautiful layoff.
For Storm Shadows. Of course, we're going to be showcasing the other lower bracket match as well. It's going to be coming up on your screen later on. Just a quick cut where there's only one life for the team and there is no field for mistakes.
I feel like it's easier said than done. I also worry that this might be too simple a statement to make of the situation, Jam. For the Sentinels, is it really as clear-cut as get it? And all the while, time being burned off the clock. Still 2-1 Sentinels, but that's going to change very quickly. I feel like I put on my crown, Jam. The King of Cursed is back.
For Shaman as well to look and demo or bump the player out of the way. Not on that attempt. I'm pretty sure some Shadows will be thinking about it. That's certainly one thing on Cedric's mind though. Goals, goals, and more goals.
Cedric actually just lays off, allows Sames the room, but then wiggles his way through all on his own. Cedric to G-Wood! It's a save, but it's not enough! 2-1 Storm Shadows!
The ball caroms off the oncoming player with a series-winning goal scored just 30 or so seconds before the end of the game. It is the Royal Air Force Storm.
Spirited a performance as that was. Let us not forget that they have now tripled their game output in a single. Do apply. And that resource will eventually run out in the form of boost. Oh, very sneaky from Cedric. Lovely flick over the top of everybody. Oh, it's a spectacular from Cedric.
Space Force just a little bit. Exchange of long-range efforts, but I do love the proactivity and Reed's shot. Cedric denies it. Crossbar post out.
That is fortuitous. And now they're down the other side with a potential opportunity. G-Wood snuffed at the near post.
Welcome back to the channel. Sorry, at a quick toilet break. We are now back. And for this encounter next, It is going to be a big one. It is the RAF Storm Shadows taking on the RAF Tempest. Arguably the two teams to beat right now in Service Rocket League. And I'm not going to waste any time at all. I am just going to get things underway. Tempest in the red, Storm Shadows in the white, switching roles almost for the AFEI. But right now in Service Rocket League, it is everything to play for. Which of these two sides will come up best? They've all been scrimming hard, preparing for this moment. And we're set to get things underway. Here we go then. Will I still get Rocket League rewards if I'm watching this? I mean, I don't know. I don't, maybe? I don't know what this is not an RLCS stream, just so you know. This is the Interservice Rocket League Championships 2026. Whether drops or not, I am not sure, but welcome to the stream regardless. Envy. Nice pre-flip by Elliot in towards Cedric, and it's a wonderful effort to open the scoring. Finally crafted by Envy. Superb pre-flip, and Cedric with an equally good finish, catching the ball wonderfully. It's clinical from the Storm Shadows. Envy again, looking to follow that kickoff. Will steal the boost as well. Cedric, back towards Envy. Envy leaves it again for Cedric. Can't quite find the shot though, and will free up Reedy for a chance. Action gets the ball clear. Cedric awkward on his backboard. G-Wood flies in for the shot at the near post. Into the back of the net. A typical G-Wood goal, forcing it home at the acute angle. He was either taking the ball into the back of the net or taking Cedric with him. Cedric now on his own backboard. Looks to beat one. And 50's action as well. Action with a really nice clearance up towards Reedy. Doesn't get the touch you would have wanted. And P commits two. The net is open. Is flicked goalwards by Envy. And just like that, the Storm Shadows once again show how clinical they can be. Remember, this is a semi-final. A place in the grand final is at stake here. And we'll be turning our attentions to the lower bracket after this series is through, where the remaining teams aim to forge their way into the upper final. It's a good bit of demo play as well, and Envy saves again. Full commit from the Tempest. I actually respect it in many, many ways. The Storm Shadows nullifying it right now. Action one-on-one with Envy. It's a really good 50. Open net again. And G-Wood makes it two. An unfortunate bump. As we reset for our fifth kickoff, I should say, of this opening game. I have a feeling it's going to be a goal-packed affair. Action down. It's dangerous. It's into the back of the net, and the Tempest take the lead for the first time in this first game. Simple but effective Rocket League. Action with a good beat in the corner. Really steals in for the finish. 3-2. Goes back left. P bumped. Can't get up for the shot. Action just knocks it goal bound. P into the corner. Action beaten by Envy. Series of chain dashes again. Up goes Cedric. Drops it for P. P shot is into the corner. Reedy, up he goes. Down towards Action. Action with a nice flick just to make it a little bit awkward for Cedric, but he recovers nicely. And Cedric beats one. G-Wood up for it. Beats P. Cedric turns and just makes it awkward for Action here. He's got a little bit of work to do. Plays it towards Reedy now, who has a chance for a solo. Now we've seen his solo ability. It is good. But that time he didn't get the first touch he needed to set himself away. Cedric. Infield it goes. Reedy doesn't get the second touch, which means pressure now on the Tempest net. Envy's trying to squeeze it in at the near post. G-Wood takes over. P keeping the press alive. Good rotations by both these two teams here. Storm Shadows keeping the press alive nicely. Tempest dealing with it equally as good. Envy gets the reset as well. Cedric. Infield it goes where P was lurking. Super finish! It was finally worked after consistent pressure for a good minute from the Storm Shadows. Cedric knew where P was. The duo that has been present for so long in RAF Rocket League strikes again to equalize things. We're back to 3-3. Is this a best of 7? No, this is a best of 5 also. This is just a semi-final as Envy makes it forward from kickoff. Super finish. But this is just a semi, so grand final. I will need to verify. I think lower grand final might be best of 7 as well. I could be wrong with that. I'll check for you and inform you after this series is done. But it's either lower final and grand final best of 7s, or just grand final, one of the two. A topsy-turvy first game though between these two sides. Storm Shadow starting off the better of the two sides, and Tempest turning the tables before conceding another 2 goals of their own, which means we're now going to the final minute and a half with the Tempest behind for the second time in the series. Envy chooses to fake. G-Wood doesn't buy it. Gets past 1. Tempest are a roster that's at the moment brimming with confidence. Okay, so this is a best of 7 then. Thank you very much, Connor. I will inform the players so that they are aware. Cedric goes for the double, not that time. P beats 1, and you can see the Tempest are left very awkward here with limited boost. The Storm Shadows doing well to suffocate them with pressure. Reedy. It's a lovely pinch across the goal by Cedric. P can't get the chance, and now Envy left alone. He will know Cedric's rotating around him. Doesn't buy Action, doesn't buy the insta-chow. Well done from Action, actually. And now P has a chance. 1-on-1 with G-Wood. Chooses to go high, and Action somehow recovers. How on earth did he recover so quickly? I thought he was probably around the halfway line point. That recovery was superb from Action. Saved his team in the nick of time. The chance though falls to Envy. Saved by G-Wood. And Cedric rises high for it. Still low boost on each or 2 of the Tempest team. The pressure from the Storm Shadows is absolutely immense, and they're forcing double commits. But it was an overcommit of their own. Reedy 1-on-1 with Cedric. The flick is a good one. Off the crossbar and down. G-Wood can't finish it. Cedric saves. It's gone through him somehow. And it's 4-4. Oh, it's an unfortunate deflection off the car of B. I think Cedric had it saved. Can't be helped. As the first game looks to tick into overtime. If, of course, there is no last-second drama. G-Wood being bumped by Cedric. There's a chance here for Elliot. He gets the flip resets! And you can't give him that much time in the air. He will punish you 99% of the time. And he had all the pressure, but he also had all of the time. G-Wood being forced into a late dive by Cedric's bumps. Good macro play by the RAF Storm Shadows. And they go 5-4 to the good with 1 second. That's a real stinger for the RAF Tempest, but they're going to have to recover, and they're going to have to recover pretty quickly. And the Storm Shadows in the lead after what was a really exciting first game. So clean, says Psycho. That it was. He is that guy. He is that player. He is the man that can provide you with a goal with a mechanical consistency play just when you need it the most, as you will know, I'm sure, from your time watching him. I will just tell the players that this is best of 7, sorry, just in case they are all wondering. Just to confirm. This is best of 7. But wow, what an electric first game that was. So here we go then. Ready for game number 2. Why is everybody... Alright, I mean, I've done something here. Why is everybody referred to by numbers? Does anybody know the hotkey to fix this? It's not H, is it? Right, well, this has made my casting for this game very, very awkward now. So we're just going to watch until I can figure out why this is not why they're the numbers now. I can't lie, I cannot figure out how to return them from numbers. M maybe? No. Yeah, this is a pain. I've got a plan. We're going to wait for the first goal to go in, and I'm going to pause the game and figure this out. I'm going to go into these settings and have a look. I'll try and cast it anyway. That is a chance. I'm going to go with Action's goal, and it was actually Action. It was actually Action. We're going to go with it. So there's the pause. I'm going to try and figure out what's going on. Control, spectator. Toggle UI H. No, it's not that. I can just hear so many chats. Okay, so now the question, now the chat's question marking me as well. That's crazy. I don't know how to fix this. J. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, we're good, we're good. We're good on pause now. Okay, false start, but we do have our first goal of this game. Oh, we are going to back to direct to cam. And now we're all set. We got there in the end. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the help. P. To fire back straight away. Lovely pre-flip. Does he have enough on it to squeeze in at the far post? No, it didn't. G Wood coming across for a really nice save. Cedric. It's a nice bang by G Wood. Envy intercepts. P looking for Envy here. Fine touch in towards Cedric. Action lightning quick to it. And the shot from P just wide of the mark. G Wood. Good 50. Cedric's there though. Forced to Envy. Danger here. Drops it down. Cedric's there. And yet again they combine. Another finely crafted goal from the RAS Storm Shadows. Envy trusted his teammate to find him on low boost on the backboard. Waited to rotate out. The gamble paid off. Back to level. Again. G-Wood. Action. Cedric falls on it. Reedy. 1-on-1. Action, nobody to demo. Envy was up really, really early for it. Collects the boost as well. Again, danger. P and Cedric bumping each other. P recovers enough. G-Wood will try and make it as awkward as possible for P here, which he does exactly that. Forcing him away. G-Wood going for bumps as well. High risk plays from G-Wood, but it works. It's what he does so well. A lot of the time, he knows when to bump you. He knows when to just make your life awkward. He knows when to just go for a drive chow. That is one of the strongest assets he has. And Envy going for a redirect. The bounce off the wall just a little bit too heavy. And Cedric and P both now on 0 boost, having to rotate out. Cedric collects the boost. Doesn't get his life though. And P with a vital interception. And he goes again, looking infield. Does collect the ball. Oh, it's only as far as Action though. And the chance. And with a minute to go, the mistake from P capitalized on by Action. It's a clinical finish. Cedric guessed the right way, but he couldn't get hands on it. The Tempest lead again. Reedy flips downfield. Action's there again. Oh, it's missed, and that so could have easily just flicked past Envy's car. But he read it well. Action now has to challenge Envy early. Doesn't give Cedric the time for a shot again. And the combination play, superb. And the Storm Shadows once more on level terms. Danny, good evening, bro. How are you? Oh, there's a chance. Action gets the bump. Envy has to come across. Pre-flips. Doesn't get there. Envy, what a save! And the pinch from Cedric and P to clear the ball away. That could have easily been the match winner. What a save it was. And still the Tempest come. They smell danger here. They smell blood. Been in front twice this game. Good 50s by G-Wood. Reedy will come across. Has a hooked shot effort on goal, but can't find the shot. P gets there. Finds a double towards Cedric as well now. Envy will rise for it. Beats Reedy. Infield it goes. Cedric, one more chance for a shot. It is there, and it's an equally good save from Action. And still P with a shot on target. We go to overtime. Well watched by Cedric. P comes across again. Envy will wait for it. P gets there instead. Takes it to the backboard. Will he fake it for Envy? Actually skims it to him, and they connect again, and it's a really good save from Action. And what a goal that would have been if not for the heroics of Action on the goal mouth there. Envy can't find the second touch, and they're really beginning to respect Envy's touches now, and it's giving Cedric and P more and more space. Good fake by P into Cedric, and he gets his hat-trick. And the RAF Storm Shadows lead the series 2-0. Three really good goals from Storm Shadows, and the Tempest, they had it. They had it there. It was there for them. They played an exceptionally disciplined game, and it was there. But they couldn't make it count. They had a couple of chances to go one more goal in front at 2-2, but the Storm Shadows defended and weathered the storm well. Danny, I'm alright. I'm stuck in a world of papers. Sorry, bro. I hope everything is alright with everything. I hope you're settling into your new job well. Hopefully, you'll be done for it in the end of the month, as you said. I would help, but I am probably useless at what you're doing for your job, so sorry. I hope you're well, Danny. You can see there, Cedric, 832 points, by the way. 3 vital goals, but all 3 Storm Shadows players finding each other on the pitch really well, which is crucial in this environment against this Tempest side, who are ruthless. They are a ruthless side. I can vouch for that, having played against them now and lost to them many, many times. G-Wood can't get it past P. Up goes Action. Cedric down the right hand side, limited boost, looks to take the boost with Action, but Action, aware of the danger there, smartly played. As Reedy launches the ball clear. Fantastic soft touch by P. Beautifully done. Infield it goes towards Cedric and skims it home. And it's just over the bar. And Envy chooses to be patient and waits for it. Reedy away. P with a really good challenge again. And Cedric, smart defending by G-Wood, buys his team time. Envy, 1 versus 1 with Reedy, who does really well there with limited boost. Had to get it right and did. And Cedric, another chance for a skimmed effort. P follows up. And it's just high and over the bar. Goes for the bump. Cedric left on his own here. Chance, and somehow gets through the cars of Action and G-Wood. Tempest will feel that should have been a goal. They worked the counter-attack wonderfully, but they didn't make the Storm Shadows pay. P. Cedric takes the boost. Envy can't get there. Shooting chance for G-Wood. Squares up P, and P says absolutely not. On almost 0 boost, somehow still managing to get the ball away. And he will turn on this ball, and he will look for Cedric if he can. Action getting bumped. G-Wood, soft touch, and he follows it on. Down the line he goes. If he can get a touch infield here, there's a queue of Tempest players waiting. Chance for action. Cedric recovers again. Bumps P out the way, and Envy can dribble out. Gets the reset. Gets the fake as well, and P comes across. Decisive dive, but G-Wood wins it. Thinks it down. P taking the ball off of Cedric. Chance. It's a lovely fake. Interaction. And 1-0 to the RAF Tempest. They were threatening to score. They made chances. And a ghost touch from Reedy. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that that was a fake. And it worked out wonderfully. And the Tempest once more had the lead. They've been in this situation before. They will know that the Storm Shadows will come straight back at them if they can maintain or even build on this lead now and go 2 goals to the good. It will change the dynamic, change their mentals. P, infield, gets the flick. Cedric trying to bump action, but his soft touch is a good one, is able to follow. P again, beaten by Reedy. Can he get the reset? He can, but Cedric alive to the danger. Really sharp defending again. What a game, what a series this has been so far. P, again, it looked like that ball was made contact with. You can hear it, you heard the sound. But no momentum on the ball was built. P again, alive to the danger. Envy will rotate out and collect boost. G-Wood leaving it, I think, for his teammate. No, choosing to play with it. Envy getting the 50. Cedric rising for it as well. P on his own. Has to watch it carefully. Reedy cuts across. P leaves it always. Ended up 50ing his own teammate. Danger here for the Storm Shadows. There's a chance. Will it be a second? Not that time. And the follow shot from Reedy again off target. They're making the chances, the Tempest. They're making the openings. But if they don't make the most of it, if they don't get another second goal, you get the feeling the Storm Shadows will find a bit of magic from somewhere. Envy. Doesn't beat action. It's a good defensive maneuver from action. P rises for it though. Cedric. Free backboard here. Will there be a Storm Shadow for it? There was action again with a really good block. Tempest defending well though. They're limiting the Storm Shadows to not a lot of openings here, while still looking dangerous. A couple of mistakes as well from the Storm Shadows. Cedric can't wrap the first shot round. Action doesn't get the double. Leaves it for G-Wood now. And P can bring the ball away. Reedy. 1-on-1 with Envy. Gets it round him. And the second touch with limited boost. Not quite sure how he's done that. Cedric can bring the ball away. 50 seconds to go. Will the Tempest score themselves on the board? Or can the Storm Shadows force overtime? Chance. Envy's there again. Forces home the 50-50. It was a smart dive from Envy. P creates the opening. And all he had to do was fling his car at the ball there and hope for the best. And it was a calculated risk. And the Storm Shadows level terms again. Cedric. Action. Oh, it's looped home. I don't think Envy can get that. He can. He's somehow dogged the ball outside his own crossbar. I thought that was a guaranteed goal with how well the shot was from action. And back they come on this Storm Shadows net. They're not through with this game yet. Envy will leave it for Cedric or P. A little crisscross, and P will chase again. Goalwards it goes. P with a really nice second touch to follow as well. Makes it super, super awkward. Cedric's there! And how many important goals will this man score in his RAF career? Add that one to the list as well, because with 8 seconds to go, you feel that could be Game 3 done and dusted to give the Storm Shadows quadruple match point. Time, of course, still for the Tempest to work with. We've seen late goals in this series already, but it won't be courtesy of the Tempest this time. It's another Storm Shadows goal. And Envy secures game number 3 after a scary game for the Storm Shadows. They sucked up a lot of pressure and were made to sit quite deep, but when they broke out, they made the most of their chances. And that is what a good team can do it can be extremely punishing in environments like this. And there is the confirmation. And of course, it's not as we thought. The original best of 5. Thank you very much again to Connor for reminding me of the rulebook. It is best of 7, so there is still at least another singular game to play if the Storm Shadows take it. If not, we'll be going into a game 5, 6, and 7 potentially. The Tempest will be mulling over the chances that they did have, and that they didn't make the Storm Shadows pay for the pressure that they gave them. They put on genuinely. Stainless, don't worry, mate. You figured out much earlier than me when you had me on. To be honest, I don't know why I thought this was the best of 7. This wasn't the best of 7. I don't know why, but you know, it happens. It happens. Told you, Owen. At least you know that we all make that mistake, eh? Even people who are part of the team that makes the rulebook. So anyway, into game 4 we go. Is there going to be a Tempest fight back? First goal, I think in this game is going to be quite vital. How long are we going to be live for? This is the upper semi-final, so at least another hour or so. At least another hour or 2, I should say. We're going to go all the way through to the end. So the winner of this goes through to the grand final, and then we have to catch up with the lower bracket after this. There's a rulebook, news to me. There is a rulebook, yes, in the Interservice Rocket League Discord. There's a rulebook channel now, which is also dated as well. As P, that's going to be into the net, isn't it? It's 1-0, and it's a good start from the Storm Shadows once more. Looking very comfortable out there now. Something tells me the Tempest will come back. I don't know. Well, it would be dramatic, it will be theatre, and it will be not unlike what we've seen on this channel before, Alan. So, also, I don't think I've... Please excuse me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've seen you here before. If this is your first time in the stream, welcome, welcome. How did you find us? Are you friends with one of the players? Are you are you just randomly... Did you randomly come across us? Either way, welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying your time here so far. As actually this challenge on MV almost ends up in the back of the net. Instead it's G-Wood, and MV gets the clearance. Not playing great today, not gonna lie. So many mistakes, not rotating properly. Nah, I just like Rocket League. Your streams seem fun, so I joined. Mate, you have no idea what that means to us in the Forces community. So, as I'm sure you can have gathered, this is a Royal Air Force Rocket League channel. We are against... This is the Interservice Rocket League Championships of 2026. This is the first qualifier. Similarly to RSCS, it's almost like splits. So there's 3 online qualifiers, and the top 8 in terms of points scored across the 3 qualifiers go to LAN in December. If you're interested, you can go to the RF YouTube channel, RF Esports, and look at the VOD from the Interservice LAN in December last year from Sunderland. So you can see what that's like. But yes, Forces Rocket League in the UK has been about for 5 years now. Or, as Danny has quite rightly said, search up BFBS Esports and see what they're up to as well with the BFBS Pro League Season 1, which culminated in September last year. We're about to start Season 2 of the Pro League as well, which qualifies for that start in July, I believe. Do you know if, yes, RSCS will be live tomorrow for sure. It will be. It was just day 1 today for RLCS. So away from the chat then, it is 2-0 now to the RF Storm Shadows, who I think it was Envy who backed the goal that time round. And no, I don't get a free hat by the time I say that. BFBS do not need permissions to get promo on this channel. They are a massive, massive part of Forces Rocket League, doing some absolutely incredible work. So I will take the opportunity, whilst Envy makes it 3, to shout them out for the incredible work they're doing for Military Rocket League and for all of us here in the Royal Air Force Rocket League community. Same with the Army community, and same of course with the Navy. They've been a welcome addition to the Rocket League family, and of course across other titles as well. F1 currently going for them. As Envy makes it 4 goals to the good now. The Storm Shadows are absolutely running riot here. seems that this is the end for the Tempest upper bracket run. If, of course, sadly my gut was probably wrong. You know, I would have said that there may have been something to your gut feeling, but the Tempest just have looked second best here. I would have said the team to beat, but they have been thoroughly beaten here, it would seem, as goal number 5 finds its way into the back of the net. And sadly for you, Alan, you've had a rough introduction to Military Rocket League. It is 2 RF teams on screen right now, but the lower bracket run, which we'll be following next after this game, will contain teams from the other services as well. The Army and Navy, I'm sure, will make an appearance depending on the results off stream, which we'll bring to you, of course, after a very, very short break. Danny, if you are free, mate, you're welcome to jump in for the last few series. Same with you, Psycho, but if you're enjoying the watch party, I'm happy to ramble on all evening long. I've got my water next to me. I'm set to go for the run-in now to the end of the first qualifying round. The Tempest really have looked, don't like to say it, but pretty lost here in this game. In this last game in particular. The first 3 were a really strong fight, but there's been a lack of intensity almost here from the Tempest in game 4, I would say, which is unlike them. They're a team that feeds off energy and sharpness. They're a young team. They're a serious team that works hard in scrims. And it's beginning to show for them. But today, at least in this one, they've been bested hard by the Storm Shadows. And Reedy now left 1-on-1 with Envy to try and get at least something back on the board. G-Wood beaten to it by Cedric. Envy bumped away. There is a chance here. It's an open net, but Cedric and P occupied in the Tempest penalty area trying to bump, and it distracted the 2 Tempest players enough not to have a shot on goal. P diverts it forward now, and G-Wood demoed. Cedric will play back towards Envy. And Action finds the captain, G-Wood. Can he find at least 1 goal to give him something to build off going into their next series in the lower bracket run? Not that time. And 20 seconds on the clock now. It has been almost perfect from the Storm Shadows this series. They were made to fight and work hard for some of those games that they did win. But this last one, a fair reflection, I think, of the way the series has gone. Will there be one more goal? Envy trying to find Cedric. Actually goes round him. Will it be a 6? It is. It's game, it's set, it's match. The Tempest will advance to the lower bracket, and the Storm Shadows have one hand on the Interservice Qualifier 1 imaginary trophy, shall we say. And we'll sit and wait to see who will challenge them. Will it be a rematch? Time will tell, but for now, Storm Shadows will enjoy that win. And will we see them in the grand final again? Tempest, time will tell. They have an awful lot of work to do now, but they are on paper the highest seed in the lower bracket left now, so we'll have to see what happens. But we're back after a very, very short break, and we'll bring you the next series, which will focus on the remainder of the lower bracket run.
BFBS Forces News join KFOR patrols in the north of Kosovo.
We're here to create a safe and secure environment for the people in Kosovo and the people of Kosovo.
Our job, fly and fight from the home base, and we've got to be able to do that in whatever conditions.
This training is mutually beneficial to both sides. For the riflemen themselves, it's about getting that valuable training in the desert.
At the heart of Lympstone Parade Square, the King Squad, and there could be no more special guest of honour than His Majesty the King.
And whilst I'm not moving the controls at all, I can certainly learn from what I'm seeing as to how a manoeuvre should be flown.
This year, 337 recruits have completed training. That's a first-time pass rate of 99.7%, which is incredibly high.
So we have a philosophy on the ship called the way of the warrior sailor. It argues that in order to create morale, you must love and value everybody.
This beam here came from HMS Indefatigable. The beams from the Armada were eventually integrated into the pub.
At BFBS Creative, we are creative storytellers. We are specialists in unraveling the untold, even from the most difficult locations. We help you reach the audiences you need to reach. From documentary interviews to addressing communication hurdles and crafting your content strategy, we can do it all. We thrive in the toughest environments, ensuring your stories are told brilliantly.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the RAF Storm Shadows channel. I am once again joined by the immeasurably enthusiastic Roman in the commentary box this evening, Roman. And as you can see on your screens there, it is the RAF Storm Shadows taking on the Army Esports side. A fascinating insight into what we might come to expect in the Interservices. But for tonight, it's the Armed Forces Dungeon League. Let's get this show started.
Carries this forward, gets 50 with Fraz. Ed, get into that one. Envy tucks it away. And as I say, they need an opening goal. They have managed to get one here, 1-0.
Frazic, though, does some nice defensive work. But P finds Cedric. Cedric finds Envy. Beautiful stuff from the RAF Storm Shadows. 2-0.
Approximately a minute and a half left to go. Envy goes for a pass to P. P with a shot. P with a goal. Tucked away in the top left corner. 2-1 to the RAF Storm Shadows. And they are shining through here after the Army. They've struggled to rotate. They struggled to get into position after kickoff. And P managing to give the RAF Storm Shadows that advantage
Didn't
again.
have a lot to work with, didn't have a lot of the goal to aim at, but he put it in the one place that it was going to go to, and Cedric makes it 3! And the floodgates are beginning to open here for the RAF Storm Shadows. A great 30-second burst, and now they've just got to hold it, or even go for more.
Air power wins the matches in Rocket League, and you can't tell me otherwise as Ed will tuck down away, and the Storm Shadows have the advantage here with 3 minutes left to go. Nothing about air superiority there. P just managing to get a pass across. A very strong 50 indeed, and Ed had an entire net to tuck it away. 1-0 to the Storm Shadows, and the Army, they've been crumbling since game 3. To control this one and take it downfield, intercepted immediately by Ed, and this pressure from the Storm Shadows has been relentless, and Envy, the man from Cosford, will tip this away to make it 2-0, and almost an improbable comeback for the Army to try and pull off with 90 seconds left to go. The way they've been playing, the RAF Storm Shadows, they're currently unstoppable.
The RAF Storm Shadows, an incredible goal. They've done it again, and it's 2-0 now, and it's 3-0 now. The lead looking unassailable.
Away, gives Ed some time here on the sidewall, gets it up. P is on the backboard lurking. Is Ed going to get this one away? No, but Envy's going to be there. Envy's going to tuck it away. It's 4-1 to the RAF Storm Shadows. Rose-tinted glasses are on, and I don't care. It is game over. The RAF have trampled the Army. 4-1, could be 5-1. I don't care what the scoreline is. It's going to be game over with 1:06 left to go. You're going to have me in the commentary box. I'm going to be hyping the boys the entire time, not just the Storm Shadows, the Sentinels and the Shadows as well, as this game comes to a close with almost P tucking away a very nice shot there, just drops at the death. Storm Shadows 3, the Army Sparrows 1, and well, the Storm Shadows did it in fashion late on.
Hi, I'm AS1T Stelios Elia. In-game, I'm known as SE1997.
Corporal Elliot Greenwood, and in-game I'm known as G Wood.
My name is AS1 Tech Edward Nussy-Waite, otherwise known as Cedric in-game.
It's already looking like they've upped the bar from last year, which is a really tough job to even do that. We are looking forward, not just myself, but as a team, to going out on that stage and representing the Royal Air Force as best as we can.
Playing up on a stage like this is the first time. We had a thing called Rank A, where it was all the top players played against each other, and then we picked our teams. I've finally made it into the first team after a lot of hard work.
Both my teammates are really talented. We gel super well. Really looking forward to playing with them on stage and seeing what we can do.
From my end, the leadership were outstanding, no issues at all.
Not just from my own personal line management, but also the Royal Air Force Esports Association backed us very well, I should say, and made sure we had all the support we needed to get here, and they're always a phone call away if we do need them for anything.
Really excited to play Coast Guard. It'll be closer than everyone thinks. After playing them, we think we stand a bit of a fighting chance.
The second Air Force team, emphasis on second there. We're a solid team, three really good players who could do some damage for sure.
Although we are in different forces across NATO, we are colleagues, so it's nice to meet them in person and just have a laugh and play against them and hopefully beat them as well.
You ready? AFG, you're washed.
Coast Guard, you ain't as good as you think you are. We're coming for you.
Space Force, stick to mini golf.
We're gonna win it.
No, we're not.
We're gonna win it. We're going all the way.
I thought it was good until I saw them play. The Americans will never hear the end of it if we end up winning somehow.
Look, I'll shake on it. You know me, I don't drink. I will drink heavily if we win.
That the pressure put down. Stelios with no boost thrown into corner will be wildly out of position. G-Wood needs to put the don't go towards net on this one. Instead, Cedric go for the double touch. It's a beautiful finisher. 19 seconds into OT, and the RAF already going to match point.
That's right, boys. Once again, I'm joined alongside none other than Stelios. Stelios, at the very start of that match, you pointed out the fact that the strategy was aggression, was confidence. Do you personally feel like you guys delivered on all fronts?
Yeah, it was a series that we just stuck to the plan and executed it to perfection. I felt really good myself. I felt the other boys also played their part individually, and then we executed the plan as a team together. It was almost perfection, which means we've got to live up to that in the next round as well. So we can't just rest on our laurels. We've got to take it forward.
Well, for you personally, you were the first one to score goals across, I think, 2 or 3 of those matches that we saw there as well. Was that part of the game plan for you to be the force of nature, as it were, in this matchup?
I'm certainly a force of nature, but usually not in front of goal. It's usually Cedric or G-Wood that are bagging the goals when it counts. However, the way we're set up is it doesn't matter who has the chance to score. It could be any one of us. The way we play, we create spaces for anyone to score. And it just so happened that it was me that was in the prime position to put it in the back of the net, and thankfully I did. We are back for our lower semi-final between the RAF Shadows and the Royal Navy Esports, a team who we've seen once on stream before. The Shadows is their first time on stream. They've had an incredible lower bracket run, beating the British Army Esports Falcons 3-1, and now through to the lower semi, 1 spot away from top 3, which is crazy. Always happy to see Shadows doing well. And for the Navy Esports team, beating the Nighthawks 3-2 in a game 5 as well. Incredible. We are back down to a game 5 as well, and this one is set to be really, really intense. I'm so excited for this one. Always a pleasure to see Shadows on stream alongside our Royal Navy friends. Who will get the better up this time round? Will it be the Shadows, or will it be the Royal Navy Esports first team, who are looking so much more better this year? Navy have been on a steady upwards shift since Dilza took over the Navy reins. This time, I think at least a year ago. And we are underway. Tyler on the pitch for the first time. I don't think I remember seeing him in the first game against the against the... Who did we have on stream? Against the Storm Shadows. I don't think Tyler was on the pitch. I think it was Stimple who makes way for Tyler. Is Stimple in the lobby? He's not. So a tactical sub then. Zasha rises for it. Shot on net. Chance again. Unlucky. Asher representing the Manchester City decal there that you might spot. Not the best of a couple of days for them after that draw to Bournemouth. For those of you who do follow football. Not an ideal time to be a Man City fan after Arsenal secure the lead. And to be honest, even as a Manchester United fan, I think I would have rather Man City won it, to be fair. That one pinches horribly towards the Royal Navy net, but they survive. Kurt on the backboard dealing with that one. Smart defensive play by the Shadows captain. Logan. Infield it goes. Awkward now. Kurt again with a chance to shoot. Drops it in towards the goal. Poggy frees up the space now. Is it an empty net? I believe it is. And a combination of Poggy and Horizons slot that one home. And the Shadows made to pay for a lot of aggression there. They went all out for it. And if you take such a risk, you always risk being open at the back. Asher. Lovely flick. Over the top. Has a chance to follow the play again. Onto the backboard it goes. I don't think Poggy has the read on this. Kurt, really nice flicked effort. Horizons, really good save. And Tyler can turn this one. The net is bulging open, but didn't get the boost. Asher with a clever rotation. Stealing the boost as well from Tyler. Kurt takes over the play. And the Shadows escape. We are back to, by the way, best of 5 for this lower semi-final. Tyler. Infield towards Horizons. Kurt intercepts. Logan, one-on-one. Shot on net, and the Shadows equalise. Stunning counter-attack from the RAF Shadows. Kurt's challenge, a big one. Sees his teammate out wide. Pushes it to him. And a fine effort from range. Just for those of you at home watching, there is a chance that I might be joined by a certain Irish caster if he can free himself from the world of books that he finds himself in for the lower grand final and the upper grand final. Potentially. Not saying anything, not confirming anything. That may still be up for debate. Asher. Logan, no boost. Oh, it's well read from Poggy. A triple commit from the Shadows. They've just got to relax a little bit. Kurt with some time now. Makes it awkward for Horizons. Lovely pass by Horizons to Tyler now. Wonderfully taken as well, but Logan meets it. Logan with that wonderful cow design topper. I absolutely love that from him. And Asher in the clean Man City decal gets beaten to the ball. Tyler. Logan. Horizons beats one and squares up Asher now in the corner. Can only flick high. Horizons and the Navy Esports side fresh off a really good win against the Nighthawks. 3-2 in Game 5. Logan. It's a lovely beat. Asher storms in and Horizons meets the ball. Good save again. Alert defending from the danger man of Navy Esports. Horizons again now. One-on-one with Asher. Falls again to the car of Poggy. Kurt. Beautiful control. Tyler loops that one high and Horizons will chase after it. No Shadows player up to meet him. Logan doesn't get there that time. But that loose ball goes to Asher. Kurt can try and come across for the finish, but it's intercepted by Tyler. And this one, toing and froing between these two sides. Big 50 by Poggy, and the chance here is over the bar. Limited boost on the cars of all Shadows players. They got to find boost from somewhere, they do. And Logan and Asher combining to get the ball away again. Asher attempting to find another pass, but Kurt wasn't quite pushed up enough. Kurt again. Horizons. Asher. Asher again. Lovely fake! And he squeezes it home at the near post. At a vital time for the RAF Shadows, who were beginning to soak up more and more pressure. They found the break. They forced the mistake. And the RAF Shadows in front here with 42 seconds to go, and what a way it would be to start off their campaign for a lower final push. It's definitely within their grasps. Kurt again. In the corner he goes. Logan leaves that one for Asher. Shooting chance again, and Horizons smart to the save. Nice and patient from Horizons. Tyler, infield to Poggy. Poggy shot, looping downfield into the corner. Hitman, how's it going, bro? How's it going, Hitman, bro? I hope you're well. We're so sad that you guys are not going to be there in the Netherlands, man. But thank you so much, bro. We love the French Air Force. It's so nice to see you here. You are watching the Interservice Qualifier #1, Hitman. Between all of the teams just in the UK military, across the Army, the Navy, and of course the RAF. We love you so much, Hitman, bro. You're a legend. You guys are all legends. Do you know, Hitman, why you can't come this year? What is the reason? Are you guys just too busy? Is that why you can't come this year? We're gonna miss you. We are definitely gonna miss you, Hitman, for sure. Asher and Logan responsible there for winning the game for the Shadows. Are off to the perfect start. As I think there's maybe a slight problem. I think we're good to go. We haven't got a team for this year. No way. But Zalu's GC3, no? I'm sure Zalu's GC3. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. Why don't you play? Look. Zalu, Hitman, NZH. No? NZH. Or Zakata. Where are they? It's all good, Hitman, bro. We're going to miss you. It won't be the same without you, but we'll try and do our best for you. We'll see what happens. Underway here, then, between the RAF Shadows and the Royal Navy Esports first team. Poggy. Beaten by Logan. Up he comes now. Okay, Hitman, bro. I understand. It makes sense, bro. It makes sense. Family first. I understand. It makes sense. It's unfortunate. Next year. Are you gonna be there next year, Hitman? That's the question. Next year you come, yeah? Tyler has it. Room to bang. Time in the air as well. Gets the flip reset. Logan goes for it. Beautiful challenge by Logan, by the way. Had to have the perfect read on Tyler's touch. And did just that. Curtis with a lovely flick, and it's going to cause issues here. And he will turn on it. He's fed it infield. Up goes Asher. Chance for the shot. Wonderfully shot as well. And it's causing pandemonium on that Navy goal mouth, but they're surviving somehow. And the big punt downfield has left Curtis with some work to do, but he does it just fine. Goes for the shot as well. Is it an open backboard? No. Poggy's there to flick the ball away in towards Tyler. Tyler beating Logan. Kurt does get the bump on Tyler, which means there's some time and space here for the Shadows to clear, and they do just that. Asher trying to feed it down towards Curtis. It was close, but no cigar that time. Almost halfway through game 2 now, and still no breakthrough. Remember, this is a best of 5. So if the Shadows were to win this one, it would mean they have a triple match point to work with. Kurt clears that one away. Tyler can turn on it. Logan. Lovely flicked field down onto the backboard. Horizons pinches it away though. No, Reedy. This one is a best of 5, bro. And, oh, what a save from Asher! Needed to be saved. That was goal bound for the top left-hand side of his net. And if not for a heroic save, it would have been 1-0 to the Navy. Yes, Hitman, you have to let us know, bro. You have to let us know. You have to let us know, bro. You have no choice. The studios are a really nice place, and it's not too far away from where I live as well. So you have to let us know, bro. Maybe me and maybe me and Cedric can come and meet you and say hello to your family. Will be nice. Asher storms in at the back post, and we have the opening goal of the game. Kurt, the captain of the Shadows, pinches it infield. What a pinch from the captain. And Asher was lurking with trust. Knew his captain would make something happen. And it's 1-0 to the RAF Shadows with just over 2 minutes to play. Lovely flake by Tyler though. And a chance, and the Navy coming straight back at the Shadows here. They're not taking this one lying down. Lovely pass in field. Poggy with a double touch attempt. But Logan sharp to it again. Logan's had a ridiculously good defensive performance. And the net is wide open. Horizons can't get there. 2-0 to the RAF Shadows. And they're making the most of every chance they're getting here. Whilst remaining typically defensively robust as they always are. The Shadows roster. Come on, RAF, says Hitman. Hitman, what a legend. I still remember when you guys cooked for us in your Airbnb in Germany, and we filmed a podcast. Oh, it was so good, bro. He's so good. Hitman, did you get the chance to watch the podcast that we filmed with Zakata and Zalu? Did you get the chance to watch it? We had Connor, our media guy, edit it, and he's done a really, really good job editing it. It was crazy what he'd done. It was a really good podcast, actually. You should watch it if you haven't seen it already. If you need a link, I'll send you a link. You watch every podcast. Hitman, you're a legend, bro. You're a legend. 1 minute of regulation time remaining then in this one. That's a beautifully worked goal from the Navy. And it was Tyler, the creator there. Creator, the executioner, the finisher as well. Beautifully taken by the Navy. And they've given themselves a chance here of a comeback in this final minute. Still Inception. Asher with the bump. Chance again to add another cushion to this slender lead now. Up goes Poggy. Has the boost. Goes for a musty flick. It's nicely worked. And Asher again with a crucial stop. Logan pushes it out to the right. Tyler fakes. Beautifully worked again, and it's pinched downfield by the Shadows. Will it be into the net? No, it's off the crossbar and away. And back come the Royal Navy. One last chance, one last throw of the dice. 1-on-1, passes in field. Horizons is there. Can he find the strike? He can! And the Royal Navy equalise with 19 seconds on the clock. Wonderfully worked. And Horizons finishes it off in style. Unfortunately, on my restream POV of the chat, I can't see notifications. So I am sorry. But I saw nothing, essentially, is what I'm trying to say to you. Ooh, bit of confusion. Presents a chance once more for the Shadows. Up goes Kurt, and now Coutinho steals the game away from the Royal Navy. A slight error, a slight misjudgment, and the RAF Shadows pounce. 10 seconds on the clock. And they're going for a kickoff strat. Poggy into Tyler. Tyler into Water Horizons. And a save from Logan right at the death. And the pinch attempt. Can Poggy convert? Off the post and away by Asher. What an incredible end to this game. And still it's not down. And still the Navy team come. They work the chance again. It stays alive. Can Tyler turn for it? He can. Horizons. Up he goes. Drops it down. Poggy's there. And he's missed at the final chance. And the Shadows steal the win. 2-0 in the series. 3 match points. How on earth do we even reflect on that game? That is absolutely incredible from both of these two sides. The pinch onto the post. The following save from Logan. Absolutely incredible. Clip that one. That might be moment of the year already, to be honest. What an ending to that one from both of these two sides. And Asher with a crucial double goal, but Kurt with the winner in that game. The Navy, though, not to be discredited. They fought back hard and earned their right to force overtime, and they will deem themselves to be very, very unlucky that one didn't go in. And here we go then. Double match point for a place in the lower grand final. Or will it go to 5? Is there a comeback? for the Navy. Logan rises for it. Kurt will go Asher. Smartly rotates back. Cuts now. It's a really good cut from Asher. Poggy demos him though for his troubles. And Kurt tries to take it up the wall. Unlucky. Didn't quite make it. Horizons. The calm the Navy need right now can come from Horizons. He can inspire a performance here. Kurt again. Onto the net it goes. He'll have a chance for a follow-up shot. It loops in. And Tyler with another good save. A really promising player for the Navy, by the way. Really promising player for the Navy. I like what I've seen a lot from Tyler. And with Stimplebug as well on this first team for the Navy. It's a squad now with a lot of depth. A lot of depth. Asher. Free backboard. Horizons can't get there. Good demo. But Tyler again with a really good touch again. Had to get there. Asher will take the boost and turn on it. He will look for Captain Kurt. Who does get there, but he's demoed now. Chance for the Navy. If you feel there is going to be a comeback attempt, it needs to come from a Navy momentum building goal. They've just got to break the duck here. Break the pressure that the Shadows have been building on them. Kurt. Challenged. Asher's there. Shot onto nets and Horizons just flicks it away. Smart defending once more. Logan with a soft touch that he can follow. Kurt. Good demo by Logan. 1-on-1 now with Tyler. But Tyler reads the dive well. And the chance here for the Navy. But no. Logan, awkward for him. Horizons gets there. Chance for Tyler. Off the backboard it goes. Is there a Navy player there? No. No, the pressure is high from the Navy team, but they just can't find the finishing touch. Horizons flicks it away. Okay, the chat just really wants me to sue twice. I mean, why? Why? There's no legally binding contract that tells me to sue you, okay? Sue me. Kurt. Asher away. Horizons with a beautiful first touch. Lovely flick as well. And he'll go 1-on-1. They went for a musty flick. The follow-up from Logan. Saved by Horizons. Another really smart save. I've just looked at the chat. And seen Connor saying sue me. I need to mute. I'm back, okay. I'm back. Kurt, can they find another one to make all but sure? Asher will turn on this. Chance again, Tyler beaten to it. Poggy and Horizons both up. Poggy, beaten. Beats Asher, sorry. Logan with another shooting opportunity. Chooses to go onto the backboard and try to be a nuisance, getting a bump. It's really awkward for both of them. Kurt flying in. Close, but no cigar that time for El Curtinio. The veteran of the RAF Rocket League community. You know, for UMV, of course. So there you go, just for UMV. Poggy. What does this Navy side have left in the tank? It's a punt downfield. Up goes Asher again. It's a shot on net, and there it is. The opening goal of this game. So wonderfully worked by Asher. Dived, knowing full well his teammates were behind him. And there's only 50 seconds now for the RAF Shadows to hold this lead or even double it. And for the Navy, they've got to throw caution to the wind now. They've got to go all out attack, and they're going to go for it. Tyler, one-on-one with Kurt. Lovely flick. Up goes Poggy. Is there a shooting opportunity? Yes, there is. But it's wide of the mark. Another chance goes begging. They're still alive here. Inside the Shadows penalty area. Tyler with a shot. It's an open net if there can be a player there, but no. Not risky enough. Poggy with the whiff. Tyler with the clearance. And Asher, one more shot onto net. Saved by Poggy. One last chance for the Navy. It's towards the Shadows net. Up goes Tyler. There it is. Off the crossbar away. Poggy keeps it alive. And another save by Asher. Incredible defending by the RAF Shadows. The Navy will count themselves desperately unlucky, but the Shadows make all but sure they progress into the lower finals. Into the top 3 they go. So, you happy now? Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted, chat? The things I do for you. The Shadows into the final, into the lower final now. And for the Navy, top 4 result. Absolutely nothing to sniff at. And it will mean, of course, that is, it should be 3 RAF teams and 1 Navy team to make up the top 4, which is incredible. I think this is the first time a Navy team has finished above the top Army team in a given qualifier. I think in Interservice history, to be fair. So that's a big result for the Royal Navy. Top 4 and some serious points scored. And we'll be moving swiftly on now to lower bracket final after a very short break.
BFBS Forces News join KFOR patrols in the north of Kosovo.
We're here to create a safe and secure environment for the people in Kosovo and the people of Kosovo.
Our job, fly and fight from the home base, and we've got to be able to do that in whatever conditions.
This training is mutually beneficial to both sides. For the riflemen themselves, it's about getting that valuable training in the desert.
At the heart of Lympstone Parade Square, the King's Squad. And there could be no more special guest of honour than His Majesty the King.
And whilst I'm not moving the controls at all, I can certainly learn from what I'm seeing as to how a manoeuvre should be flown.
This year, 337 recruits have completed training. That's a first-time pass rate of 99.7%, which is incredibly high.
So we have a philosophy on this ship called the Way of the Warrior Sailor. It argues that in order to create morale, you must love and value everybody.
This beam here came from HMS Indefatigable. The beams from the Armada were eventually integrated into the pub.
At BFBS Creative, we are creative storytellers. We are specialists in unravelling the untold, even from the most difficult locations. We help you reach the audiences you need to reach. From documentary interviews to addressing communication hurdles and crafting your content strategy, we can do it all. We thrive in the toughest environments, ensuring your stories are told brilliantly.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the RAF Storm Shadows channel. I am once again joined by the immeasurably enthusiastic Roman in the commentary box this evening, Roman. And as you can see on your screens there, it is the RAF Storm Shadows taking on the Army Esports side. A fascinating insight into what we might come to expect in the Interservices. But for tonight, it's the Armed Forces Dungeon League. Let's get this show started.
Carries this forward, gets 50 with Fraz. Ed, get into that one. Envy tucks it away. And as I say, they need an opening goal. They have managed to get one here, 1-0.
Frazic though does some nice defensive work, but P finds Cedric. Cedric finds Envy. Beautiful stuff from the RAF Storm Shadows. 2-0.
Approximately a minute and a half left to go. Envy goes for a pass to P. P with a shot. P with a goal. Tucked away in the top left corner. 2-1 to the RAF Storm Shadows, and they are shining through here after the Army. They've struggled to rotate. They struggled to get into position after kickoff, and P managing to give the RAF Storm Shadows that advantage
Didn't
again.
have a lot to work with, didn't have a lot of the goal to aim at, but he put it in the one place that it was going to go to, and Cedric makes it 3. And the floodgates are beginning to open here for the RAF Storm Shadows. A great 30-second burst, and now they've just got to hold it or even go for more.
Air power wins the matches in Rocket League, and you can't tell me otherwise as Ed will tuck that one away, and the Storm Shadows have the advantage here with 3 minutes left to go. Nothing about air superiority there. P just managing to get a pass across. A very strong 50 indeed, and Ed had an entire net to tuck it away. 1-0 to the Storm Shadows, and the Army, they've been crumbling since game 3. To control this one and take it downfield, intercepted immediately by Ed, and this pressure from the Storm Shadows has been relentless, and Envy, the man from Cosford, will tuck this away to make it 2-0, and almost an improbable comeback for the Army to try and pull off with 90 seconds left to go. The way they've been playing, the RAF Storm Shadows, they're currently unstoppable.
The RAF Storm Shadows, an incredible goal. They've done it again, and it's 2-0 now, and it's 3-0 now. The lead looking unassailable.
Gives Ed some time here on the sidewall, gets it up. P is on the backboard lurking. Is Ed going to get this one away? No, but Envy's going to be there. Envy's going to tuck it away. It's 4-1 to the RAF Storm Shadows. Rose-tinted glasses are on, and I don't care. It is game over. The RAF have trampled the Army. 4-1, could be 5-1. I don't care what the scoreline is. It's going to be game over with 1:06 left to go. You're going to have me in the commentary box. I'm going to be hyping the boys the entire time, not just the Storm Shadows, the Sentinels and the Shadows as well, as this game comes to a close with almost P tucking away a very nice shot there, just drops at the death. Storm Shadows 3, the Army Sparrows 1, and well, the Storm Shadows did it in fashion late on.
Hi, I'm AS1T Stelios Elia. In-game, I am known as SE1997.
Corporal Elliot Greenwood, and in-game I'm known as G-Wood.
My name is AS1 Tech Edward Nussey-Waite, otherwise known as Cedric in-game.
It's already looking like they've upped the bar from last year, which is a really tough job to even do that. We are looking forward, not just myself, but as a team, to going out on that stage and representing the Royal Air Force as best as we can.
Playing up on a stage like this is the first time. We had a thing called Rank A, where it was all the top players played against each other, and then we picked our teams. I've finally made it into the first team after a lot of hard work.
Both my teammates are really talented. We gel super well. Really looking forward to playing with them on stage and seeing what we can do.
From my end, the leadership were outstanding, no issues at all.
Not just from my own personal line management, but also the Royal Air Force Esports Association backed us very well, I should say, and made sure we had all the support we needed to get here, and they're always a phone call away if we do need them for anything.
Really excited to play Coast Guard. It'll be closer than everyone thinks after playing them. We think we stand a bit of a fighting chance.
The second Air Force team, emphasis on second there. They're a solid team, 3 really good players who could do some damage for sure.
Although we are in different forces across NATO, we are colleagues, so it's nice to meet them in person and just have a laugh and play against them and hopefully beat them as well.
You ready? AFG, you're washed.
Coast Guard, you ain't as good as you think you are. We're coming for you.
Space Force, stick to mini golf.
We're going to win it.
No, we're not.
We're going to win it. We're going all the way.
I thought it was good until I saw them play. The Americans will never hear the end of it if we end up winning somehow.
Look, I'll shake on it. You know me, I don't drink. I will drink heavily if we win.
That the pressure put down. Stelios with no boost thrown into corner will be wildly out of position. G-Wood needs to put it to the air. Don't go towards net on this one. Instead, Cedric go for the double touch. It's a beautiful finisher. 19 seconds into OT, and the RAF already going to match point.
That's right, boys. Once again, I'm joined alongside none other than Stelios. Stelios, at the very start of that match, you pointed out the fact that the strategy was aggression, was confidence. Do you personally feel like you guys delivered on all fronts?
Yeah, it was a series that we just stuck to the plan and executed it to perfection. I felt really good myself. I felt the other boys also played their part individually, and then we executed the plan as a team together. Good evening and welcome back to the RAF Storm Shadows channel. We are through to our lower grand final of the first Interservice qualifier of the season. And what a show it's been up until this point. Teams from across the 3 services, new faces, old faces, a much improved scene, especially for the Navy as well, by the way. I'm loving their resurgence. But joining me for the last 2 series of the day, the grand final and the lower grand final, and the grand final, none other than everybody's favourite Irishman, Danny Boy. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. And what do you make of what you've seen so far?
I'm going to touch on the fact I don't think I'm even the favorite Irishman within the RAF community, but we'll leave that for the time being. But what is certainly is going to be a huge, massive sort of outlook to the Interservice itself here. Ultimately, it's a top 3 RAF sort of structure at the moment, 1, 2, 3 in guaranteed results. Royal Navy has certainly came out and actually provided arguably one of the best results so far since last season's campaign. But I'm sure many is looking forward to see which one will actually be the first qualifier winner of this year's Interservice.
Like betting against the Shadows, but they got it stacked up against them here. They made an incredible run into the top 3, Danny. And I'll hand over to you, my friend, for our Hype Chamber intro.
Thank you very much, Dale. Many around for at least this fine evening of the 20th of May. 2 lessons of the RAF community, the old faithful in the terms of the
Is looking to go back into a final to have an opportunity at their favourite foe in the form of RAF Storm Shadows, but it is the Shadow lurking once more for the upset.
Here we go, Danny. I've also just not changed any of the bar configuration, because why would I think to do that, right? Let me just quickly do that for you whilst Danny Boy continues to cast.
Well, you may be sitting there at the top of your screen, Shadows up 1-0. Well, that would be cheeky, wonderful, and they will certainly hope so, but unfortunately it's not. A Tempest lead, that will be in the blue on your screens as Shadows playing, of course, in the orange strip itself. Maybe nice maybe to consider colour decals in the future, maybe a black script for the former Noir roster, but we won't go down the full history lessons, but they have been playing quite recently, if many of the RAF community would already know. But if you have only just tuned in and don't know the full history, they've already played about 2 or 3 times before, and the Tempests have wibbled and wobbled. Certainly a few roster changes here and there, and so far, Sel, I think you would have found to agree with myself here, have been arguably one of the most quickly improved rosters just in the RAF alone.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. They've worked hard for it as well to have that reputation. I think few can argue, and already contenders for most improved roster of the year. This side, and it's just a start for them. They're hungry for it, and that's the best part about it. It's Kurt forced into a save now, and it's the Shadows again. I've got to credit them on their run that they've made. Incredible into the top 3 when you consider the level of overall of military Rocket League now across the forces. Top 3 for this Shadow side. Unbelievable. They'll be delighted with it. And who's to say they can't put off another shock against the Tempests?
Well, just to put on to that touch, we've barely, of course, mentioned the British Army as that shot rattles in for a 2-0 Tempest lead. I don't think they want the spotlight off them here.
But they don't. And action finds Sames going for the bump. Ruthless play. And they make the most of it. 2 goals to the good now for the RAF Tempest here in Game 1. Remember, this is a best of 7 now, as will be the grand final. And of course, the advantage will be likely a game lead, depending on what the Storm Shadows decide in the grand final for whoever wins this series. So still plenty of action to look forward to. But the Shadows right now really under the cosh as Reedy flip reset number 1 makes the most of it again into the bottom left, and it's a fine effort from Reedy. 3-0.
This is just maybe the sense of domination, and the man that has been arguably the RAF's rookie of the season contender already, really stepping up. I'm sure his family is watching at home. They normally are quite supportive of the young man himself here. But it is going to be a tad bit worrying here for the Shadows. They have been here before, and they are playing, I would have to sit here and say, their best roster possible, of course. They do have, of course, Steve the Deal sitting on the benches somewhere. But the major issue, and it usually always is the case, of can they find that bit of momentum? Can they find that sort of essentially rhythm to the play here? They have not got a foothold into the game here. It's a question of when here still. Does the Shadow start playing?
And as you quite rightly said, after many years of observing them, both of us, they're a momentum-based team. And once they find a way to break you down, they're good at repeating it. They're good at repeating the formula to success against a given team. And so, as you say, it's a matter of if, not when, I would say, because it's not a guarantee, but once they unlock this Tempest side, if they can do it, it may change the dynamic. But right now, the Tempest are genuinely looking dominant, and that's full compliments to the way they've set themselves up here in this first game. And Asher's shot denied by Samus. Super save as he goes upfield as well, looking to set free Reedy for the shot. Brilliant save by Asher again. He has made some incredible saves for the Shadows so far, and that was another one.
Certainly is, and credit needs to be pointed out as well. I think it was the last time we properly seen Samus on the pitch would have been the RAF's roster mania no more than about sort of 2-3 months ago. Unfortunately had to leave the pitch injured, so to speak, and what I mean by that, internet issues and cause. So the same actually playing to the standard, the way he wants to play. Gio Watts here, it's great to see, of course, here, because, surely frustration builds in, because, when you have the likes of G Wood, the captain and everything else, sat there at that moment in time, said, we just spun a wheel and played. All four can be dangerous, and it's nice to see the man himself here, who's sitting in the back lanes, could be potentially swinging this ball in, back at his best here.
Indeed, and Logan goes for that one, quick to it. Sam is beaten that time. Asher's shot causes trouble for Reedy, but able to soft touch the ball away. And up comes Reedy again. One-on-one now with Kurt. Logan there just to sweep up the danger. Kurt throws an awkward one back towards his own net and temporarily causing a bit of a stir, but they get away with it, and Reedy's touch only as far as Logan, who flicks the ball away, and Action able to bring the ball out.
Very much a professional game here by the Tempest. I've actually seen it out. No danger other than one or two sort of final shots in the essentially their third here, but not necessarily too threatening. When they have, they've been piling the pressure, slowly building for that fourth goal. And that would, of course, be the signalling of game one being wrapped up here still. But as things go, it's Tempest all the way.
4 goals to the good daddy. It's not a statement game in a best of 7. You set yourself up nicely. You give yourself the mental edge. You give yourself the confidence to proceed into the next game with the utmost level of aggression, taking it to the Shadows, who again, it can't be understated how well they've done to make a top 3 result in the first qualifier. That's going to be some serious points. And arguably over their closest RF competition, it is technically a battle between the Nighthawks and the Shadows for that 3rd position spot in the overall point at the end of the year, when we're totting up everything up to who qualifies for LAN. And in qualifier 1, the Shadows have outperformed the Nighthawks, but in this lower final, the Tempest firmly in front, 4 goals to the good, and they'll have enjoyed that game. It would be certainly would have been a nerve settler for them after, with some history that these two sides have against each other, shall we say, or at least the names.
Well, we don't need to necessarily go too far here in terms of history still. We've seen it far too much here within the last 2 months, just within the RAF community, not in, if you want to call it, I feel like the right way to describe it, a club level. This is essentially the Premiership here still. We have the kick-about among friends here in the RAF. Now we're at the sort of the big stage here. I'm just going to touch on this point and maybe just spark a bit of debate here. You know me, I do like to have a controversial enough statement.
It wouldn't be
here.
you, Danny, if it wasn't.
But, I have to say the Navy been fairly impressive. The results,
Absolutely.
everything's been going in the right way around here. The British Army has dropped off compared to last season, just on results alone, not talking about outright performance. But one of the major things and factors that needs to be pointed out, and briefly what we've seen on stream through the respective 3 branches, the RAF has put a lot more game time, and so far the results have shown in that way and direction. So the question really is, are the others going to step up?
I think they will. You look over to the likes of the Army, and I know they've had a lot of They have a lot of people currently deployed away. You know, I'm sure the Navy are also suffering from that as well, but the Army, notably this qualifier, are missing their key player, Wook, who's a 1950 peak, I believe, alongside Onza and Rush, which is a really good side that isn't playing in this qualifier. Arguably on paper, that could be first and second seed alongside the Storm Shadows. So, noting that, and in this qualifier alone, I think the RF has been the more dominant service, which is, you know, reflected in top 3 being all RAF, as Action makes that one 1-0. It is up for debate, of course. This is only qualifier 1, and once the Army get all their players back, once we get all our players back, and once the Navy have a bit more time together, it's going to be even more dramatic, even more theatre in qualifier 2, which, don't forget, in between qualifier 1 and 2, there is the BFBS Pro League qualifiers as well, which all 3 services will be partaking in. So, a lot of time for development between now and the Interservice LAN for all of these sides across all 3 services.
2 and 3 key points of that. BFBS will also have civilians also added in through their direct connections, so a lot more potential avenues for higher up players. We see all the likes of Lion and Ritzy stepping up and potentially, of course, threatening to play in Season 2, of course. But the point that I was somewhat being cheekily laid that one question from earlier, everybody's got points from playing, guaranteed, of course, and it's going to be massive here because we've seen in BFBS and even of recent Interservice as well, one qualifier was the difference between a top 8, where that's going to be, who the bracket is going to shape up, who you're going to play against. Do you know what? It's going to be hard favourable at the final. Is it going to be? Can you make it easier? And for the Shadows, a win here would be massive for the entirety of the campaign.
The point scoring differential now between 3rd and 2nd, it could make all the difference when it comes to totting up the numbers at the end of the season. And to be fair, the Shadows are pushing for an equaliser here. Could have easily have had one, and Kurt will cut back into play, leaves it for Samus to clear, who finds Action. Well worked out by the RAF Tempest. Reedy going for a corner read now. Doesn't connect it as clean as he would have liked. And Logan now left to defend on his own backboard. Sames gets the play. Logan cuts back in now. Shadows have definitely solidified since that first game, looking a lot more promising now.
Certainly have, but not necessarily the major idea, of course, is finding that goal, because it has been somewhat a less of a lucrative outlook on the play here. Action, mind you, tip it down. Actually with low boost, Kirk, he's going to be essentially first man onto the play here. Somebody's got to get it, and it's a triple commit from, of course, the RAF Shadows roster. Now, still, we've been talking about this plenty of times, and we've seen it over the Shadows no matter what the lineup it has been. But they do not like to play the boom and chase game, which to some extent here, I think would actually suit them a bit more here.
Potentially, and I wonder if Steve will be sat in the call with them and they'll be discussing in the overtime. There is, of course, timeouts available for all sides, and nobody's used them so far. I wonder, it could be good to take the time to discuss when you need to. But oh my God, that's a fantastic effort by Logan to bring the Shadows straight back into contention here in Game 2. And Reedy and Sames unable to get that one. It was a missile straight through the middle. And Danny, just like that, we're on level terms.
And that's essentially a man who is, and you mentioned it on day one's broadcast, a contender for the 1v1 championship. I mean, he has been a top-end one-player, Logan. And, of course, the respective services. Here's that shot. It's right through the defence here. I thought there was going to be at least a save or some kind of connection here, but far too lackluster, too lackadaisical here in the back lines.
It's hard to stop another missile, which is what that shot was from Action, fading away off the left-hand side wall, just infield, points his card the right way, and the Tempest responds at an important time. Bale says, I wasn't even there. Bale, you got super unlucky with this one, my friend. It's unlucky. There'll be more qualifiers to come, which is good news for Reedy when he's scoring goals like that. When it's your day, it's your day. And a finally worked solo play ends up in a goal for Reedy, and they double their lead. 3-1.
It's nasty how just one deflection can ruin your entire moment. You really should ask Liverpool fans that, but they might be a bit quiet at the moment.
Oh, I love it when Liverpool don't do well. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yeah. It's alright. It could be worse. You could be an Arsenal supporter.
Ah!
Did I say that out loud as well?
I honestly, I'm a Man United fan, and I would, like I said on stream earlier, I would much have rather City have actually won it than Arsenal. But you know, it is what it is. Congratulations to any Arsenal fans who may be watching, and good luck with defending the title, because it ain't happening.
Well, a potential final for them, and of course the Champions League as well. Will it be bottlers or an actual true, essentially double for them? And speaking about doubles, the Interservice doubles champions themselves in the form of the RAF Storm Shadows winning in the upper final. Of course, we have, expected, them to at least be threatening. The Tempest have been through the last sort of 2-3 months, have been closer. We're in fact one game away, as we rightly know, still about being defeated, being the second of the RAF team in terms of structure. But as this game rattles its way down, the rematch could be potentially on the cards here. 2-0 Tempest.
Yeah, a much improved performance so from the RAF Shadows in this game. Tempest will be happy with the win. A couple of fine efforts, Action bagging the winning goal as well. After Reedy gave them, after Reedy gave them the lead initially, I think. No, he gave them a lead initially in the first game. There's a bit of chat going on. There's a bit of chat going on in the team chat, which I can't really show you at the moment, but nothing toxic, of course. Just the lads having playful banter, shall we say. But a promising game that time for the Tempest. They took a lot of pressure from the Shadows that time, which is all credit to Shadows and how they've responded to going down a game. But the important result, Danny, is they are now 2 games to the good up in the series, which means 2 more required. They're halfway there.
And it's quite as simple as that. 2 more games, and it's going to be right across here. And I believe we might need a few moments here to get things re-going again still. But it does give us at least a bit more time, of course, to see how things break down a few moments off it. And, you talk about, opportunities to move across here. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but last season's grand final, both, I believe, Interservices was a game advantage. I think it was the year before that we actually saw an attempt of a bracket reset, but never, of course, got that far.
That is indeed correct. I think the first year was the only time when the bracket reset rules was in force. Second year was a game advantage. And I think game advantage, I'm not sure if I need to read the rulebook again. I'm pretty sure it is winner's choice. I think they're probably going to choose as Asher. It will be a goal, I think, to the Shadows. Yes, it is. The smoke clearing away, and it's 1-0. The Shadows off to the perfect start here.
That's ideal. And we've been somewhat saying is it's essentially a microwave dinner, the Shadows. Once they finally get going, you can finally enjoy them at their best. Long snipe, straight down. Now the question is, do they decide to solidify the defense or go for the second goal? I hope it's the latter.
Asher gunning forward, a source of such flair and speed and directness from for the Shadow side. But Action will have the chance here. Does beat Asher to it that time, and Kurt couldn't claw the ball out off his own line. And it's 1-1.
That's just unfortunate. Wrong side of the ball, and it's sort of the difference between 3s and 2s. You necessarily just get the fit. The ideal is always going to be rotate behind you, where in 2s you're trying to maybe consider placing the ball a little bit more away from yourself, and it might be odd still, but you play it back more times than you do going forward here. And I feel like that's the difference between the Shadows and at the moment the Tempest. They're prepared to play that ball at the moment.
That is super defending at the back there. It was a bit rushed out, but the way Asher pinched down the ball just to secure them, the clearance was very, very smart. And now Samez advances up the right side. Limited boost, caused enough drama to get a punted clearance in. Logan's touch is a good one. Kurt will chase it now. Doesn't get the boost grab. Oh, he does get the boost grab, which means Action's pretty low. Really takes over the play, and Asher rises for it and plays it towards Logan. Smart defending by the Shadows as they look out to now build an attack and maybe go 2-1 to the good. Samez says no. Chance for Action. Kurt does get there, and a super save from the captain to keep them at 1-1.
It was a wide rotation, but Kirk, I'm surprised I was ready to put 2-1 on my score sheet. But it is, mind you, still tenuous. It's off the line for the time being. Logan's done well to continue. A few attempts on the chain wave dash on the wall. Should be an infield pass here to loose ball by Aisha. You would expect it, he would have whipped that one in with a bit more venom towards it. But now finally there seems to be a bit more proactive play by the Shadows.
They're going for it now. Really misjudging that one. Kurt coming across. Action 1-on-1 with Logan. Logan doing really well, and Kurt beating Reedy to the ball, but Reedy does get the demo importantly. Asher with the dust on action. Sames goes for it. Hasn't got enough touch to boost to follow that ball now. And action again. Infield it goes. Reedy pinches it straight back to where it came from. I don't know why that made me laugh. Save me, Danny.
Save me. We're not on the Titanic at the moment still. We haven't hit the iceberg yet.
What a save by Kurt. What is even happening anymore? I don't know, but with 2.5 minutes to go in this game, and still we are at 1-1, and still the Tempest come back and try to search for a goal to put them in front. That's wonderful passing play, and Samus forces it home. Beautifully done.
Well, we've had some of the giggles pop out, but the defence here is still leaking in terms of the Shadow 2-man wall getting beaten. Should never be the case. I think actually went too quickly. But, you know, when you're with no boost in the situation of Kirk, that's our gut intuition. It's hard to fight against it, sticking to the ground, but went for it anyway. But mind you, the most important bit, 2-1 in favour of the Tempest. Still, of course, with the series advantage 2-0. The Shadows have to grab a goal here just to get the element of doubt in the Tempest, just to cause a mistake or two.
3-0 will be a very tough series scoreline to come back from. But as I've always said with the Shadows, as I've always maintained, they do not know when they're beaten. And they will keep going, and they will keep going to the final whistle. In this game, in the next one, in the one after that if there is one. Right now, they're up against a solid Tempest side. And Logan, taking his time now, looking in field, does get the infield pass. And Asher was, I think, trying to go for a bump, and Asher has to scamper back and manages to get there in time. And a combination of Kurt's car and Asher's car, they do clear the ball away, and Reedy trying to build an attack now for the RAF Tempests.
Joe, if the Shadows ball was able to essentially get a lot away. But you've just heard the oogle of essentially Stelios. Rightly so. Vowels excreted across the pitch as well on your screen. That one was a banger.
Just when you need the extra goal to extend the cushion and make it slightly more comfortable, slightly bigger insurance policy, Action steps up with a beauty. And does it rival Cedric's sidewall? I wonder. Yes. I wonder. I'll leave that one to the chat. That might be after. Then we might have to have an Interservice Qualifier 1 highlight reel or goal of the qualifier, shall we call it, and let the people decide.
I can't wait to see the votes just being moved across here or on the YouTube maybe as future content, but we're not finished yet still. There's still plenty of time here for another whoopsie or la-la moment here as a double commit has came from the Tempest.
Indeed, and Bell, no, it wasn't today. He scored a disgusting sidewall yesterday. Can't remember which fixture it was, but it was incredible. He's actually going for the double. Good bump by Kurt as well. Still trying to find a goal to bring them back to within contention, the RAF Shadows, as Asher with a really aggressive challenge. So sharp in those challenges. He's always been known for that. But I don't think it's enough. They tried, they huffed and puffed. They almost blew the house down. But the Shadows have it all to do now. And a reverse sweep required if they are to advance to the grand final.
History would sit here and suggest on odds and probability the Tempest will go through. However, if you're a historian of the RAF as well as the Interservice or even RFEI, you would know quite rightly the Shadows do have it within them to cause that upset. Still, we keep alluding to it. We keep sitting there saying that it is a possibility. Truthfully, does that emotion still conjure the feeling, or are we expecting a Tempest win no matter what here?
Difficult question. My heart wants to say the feeling is there, and it is because they have looked quite dangerous, and maybe are a little bit unlucky not to have a game on the board by now at least. The Tempests are simply just able to take their chances better, and I think that is all that's separating the two teams at the moment. I don't think they've outclassed the Shadows that much, in my opinion, of course. People watching may disagree, and I'd love to have that discussion. Something is there, but it needs a perfect display from the Shadows. Time will tell, Danny, but I'd hate to say the feeling is gone. Because it
Well,
never will go.
that's the moment when you know rightly still, if it does ever go, it's time to hang up the controller. When the fight really does burn to its final ashes, it is essentially the moment to say thank you very much and pass the baton on. Well, we've seen that far too often by the Shadows. I don't think that fight has disappeared. So far, it's been consistent, it's been good, but it's a G Wood-esque, but it's the man not on the pitch. It's his legacy living on through the Tempest here.
G Wood subbing himself out, not having the best of days, he said. Will be delighted with how his team performed so far. Clinical, effective, and simple Rocket League played to be an otherwise smart Shadows side who have tried to vary their game and have had some really positive moments, but you can see it's a real physical battle out there. And Kurt clears that one. And at 1-0, there still won't be that much panic. Action can't follow this, but Reedy can. And there's the shooting opportunity for the second time. And there's the second goal. And all of a sudden, it slips further and further out the Shadows' control as the Tempest march on to the grand final.
Clearly a bit confused here on the positional play of the Shadows there. But unfortunately, those are the critical moments in games that they need to smooth out. Of course, potentially, if they do go to lose here, to sort out for BFBS and the remaining inter-service qualifiers. But still tight, still ticking. And so is this opportunity here. Kirk should be considering whipping this one in middle. Doesn't. And it will be crawling through the wall here. Logan cannot get onto the ball cleanly enough here. And still, those are the chances that the Shadows need to start converting.
Indeed, that is the case. It needs to happen soon, if at all. Sammez collects the reset, puts the ball onto net, and lets the Shadows waste more boost. Asher will collect that mid-right. Looks infield, leaves it to Logan's challenge. It's a good, smart challenge by Logan again. I can tell Logan, he's a smart player. He's a very smart player. He doesn't often play rash. He plays calculated Rocket League. And if you know Logan in real life, he's a calculated individual. He's a smart guy, and he plays, in my opinion, it reflects in his gameplay.
Well, we've got to nick him Mr. Calculator at this point here, or Mr. Casio.
Casio works.
Don't know if anybody has a better nickname for Logan on that one. Well, I'd love to hear it, but you know, to sit there and talk about that point, there is the man himself. Scores that one in nicely. And I was going to sit here and say this, Sale, to be at the top end of the area for so long, you have to have that somewhat intelligence to the game. There it is.
What a preflip it was from Logan. And just as we were talking about how calculated he is as an individual, he shows us a calculated play. And the Shadows are back to within one now, and if Asher can just control this ball lightly and begin to build an attack, they're in for what could be an interesting final 2 minutes if they cannot concede early on here. That is the key, because this Temper side will punish you, but that's a mistake from Sammez, sorry. And Kurt will give chase here to Action and try to panic him, try to harry him into a mistake. Asher cuts again, chance for the Shadows, but that one goes wasted. Wasted? That one goes begging.
Well, it was wasted, I understand where you were coming from, but this is a chance, and here it is. Wasted at the lid of the doorway was the Tempest bodies flying themselves across the doorway. Aisha knocks it too, and Joe Watt here, comeback.
Well, the Shadows back on level terms, and that fake, I didn't see who he faked there, Kurt, but that fake from Kurt was absolutely disgusting to set up the play, and it was so well followed again. And the Shadows, living up to their name, living up to their reputation. Can they find the magic one more time to bring us into a game 4? Sammez, excellent solo play. Sorry, into a game 5, excellent solo play by Sam, not capitalized on, and Logan's defending there again, but they're all low on boost. Apart from Kurt now, who will push out here. Reedy controls, chance, double commit. They've saved it somehow, and the Shadows still alive.
I was going to sit there and suggest you might need Logan's calculator. Game 4, Game 5, Game 6 is going to still be the same narrative no matter what for the Shadows here. and it has continued, as you rightly pointed out, on the defensive line. How are they keeping this ball out is, shall we say, a mystery, even though that we're watching live here on the RAF Storm Shadows as that ball drops in face right in front of Aisha and Kirk here. It's a decent demo, but it's one of those times you actually need to plaster that ball to the backboard, because it's not necessarily keeping the idea ball off possession, it's just to give yourself time to reset as a full team.
Indeed, and we're into the final 37 seconds. They'll be reset now. They all have boosts. There's the punt downfield from Asher. Action with some work to do here. Plays it to himself, hoping Asher misses, and he does. Kurt now will challenge Action, who's beaten there. Samez cuts a chance here for Reedy. Can he beat Logan? He can't, but they both missed the ball, both playing for each other's touches. And we're into the final 15. Are we going to be destined for overtime? I think the first time in this series, if it does go to overtime. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Danny, but it'd be an interesting way to end things if the Tempest are to win, and they do find the shot on net, and it is Samez to give the sting in the tail into the Shadows' hearts. And a good demo by Action frees up the last man, and they couldn't find the save there somehow. Down to 7, Danny. Is there a comeback?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. And that, unfortunately, is an opportunity here that needs to go across, and it will just rule that shade of grass. And unfortunately, just not enough power to keep it on. You sat there and asked me a question, is it going to be an OT, or whether we had one previous? It would have been the first, should have been the first. You sat there and said here still that they should have had one on the board, the Shadows. I agree with you. But again and again and again, this new format, the Tempest roster, has this stubbornness like Teflon. They do not know when they are beaten here. They simply have outperformed and essentially formulated their very own Shadow-like type of way to play.
16 teams signed up to this Interservice qualifier. We are down to our final 2. Shadows bow out top 3, an insane result for them as well. And they played incredibly, and as we discussed, could feel hard done by not at least getting one game on the board there, which may have led to more with how they can utilize momentum. But we're down to our rematch of the upper semi-final. The RAF Storm Shadows will carry a game advantage into the grand final against the RAF Tempest, and we'll be bringing that one to you after a very, very short break. Don't go anywhere.
BFBS Forces News join KFOR patrols in the north of Kosovo.
We're here to create a safe and secure environment for the people in Kosovo and the people of Kosovo.
Our job, fly and fight from the home base, and we've got to be able to do that in whatever conditions.
This training is mutually beneficial to both sides. For the riflemen themselves, it's about getting that valuable training in the desert.
At the heart of Lympstone Parade Square, the King Squad. And there could be no more special guest of honour than His Majesty the King.
And whilst I'm not moving the controls at all, I can certainly learn from what I'm seeing as to how a manoeuvre should be flown.
This year, 337 recruits have completed training. That's a first-time pass rate of 99.7%, which is incredibly high.
So we have a philosophy on the ship called the Way of the Warrior Sailor. It argues that in order to create morale, you must love and value everybody.
This beam here came from HMS Indefatigable. The beams from the Armada were eventually integrated into the pub.
FBS Creative, we are creative storytellers. We are specialists in unraveling the untold, even from the most...
Welcome back to the stream for our grand final of the Interservice Qualifier 1. And I won't waste any more time talking about everything else. It's been a fantastic couple of days. A massive thank you to everybody that's tuned in to watch the stream, to all the players across all 3 services that have given up the time as normal to represent themselves and their service in this prestigious tournament now that this is quickly developing over the years to become a really prestigious event. And I'm so proud to be a part of it. Danny, we're into the grand final now. You saw the Storm Shadows 4-0 to Tempest earlier on in the upper semi. They carry a game advantage into this one. The Tempests are warm, Storm Shadows are cold, potentially. What does this mean for you?
I don't think it makes too much of a difference here. I think the Storm Shadows consistently have been that side that have been able to play no matter what, whether hot, cold, or lukewarm. It's just a question on can they finally produce that moment of brilliance. If they can get that early here, we're talking about a sweep potentially. The only reason why I'm saying that still is because the last time we heard the captain of the Storm Shadows made it a mission to put where the Tempest rightly deserved to belong, essentially as the second best team. He does not want to get as close ever again.
Big words from the captain, Cedric. Big words as well from G-Wood behind the scenes, and the Tempest are feeling very, very confident. They've been beaten once already today. Can they halt the momentum of the Storm Shadows? Can they bring the fight to them? We're about to find out, Danny. We're into the grand final.
Well, certainly so. As a year ago, the last time we saw this very matchup here, the British Army's main and first roster was here. History was formed when it had the upset that was unfortunately known of 2025 if you wore the strip of colour of the RAF. The very 3 on your pitch knew what failure felt like. They wanted to prevent that. Tempest have been giving too many attempts, unfortunately, of having a crack at this very roster. Will the 2 times looking to start a perfect season? Well, is it?
We're about to find out. Storm Shadows so far, that's a disgusting pinch from Envy. Not sure he meant that, but we're about to find out the answer to that very, very important question. Who will retain? Will the Storm Shadows retain a 100% record going into Qualifier 2? Can the Tempest halt them and beat them when they're at their brilliant best, which right now, it's 1-0 to the Storm Shadows already because they carry a one game advantage because of the because Tempest come from lower bracket. That is the reason why. There is a 1-0. So that is not a glitch at the top of your screens. It was either that or bracket reset rules, which would mean 2 best of 5s or best 7s played if the Tempest win the first one. But they've opted to go for the 1 game advantage, which I think, Danny, is a smart pick.
You know what? I would have went with the bracket reset outright.
You think? How come?
Well, sort of the advantage of it, essentially, you know, if you are playing cold, you have a bit more time, have the response of it, and the psychological side of it, where you're saying to the Tempest, you've got to beat us twice, not just essentially 4 times individually. It's a much more difficult task, but it's a one more manageable psychologically, at least in my eyes, anyway. But I'm old-fashioned still. I'm used to the best of 9s and best of 11s and, you know, best of 3, best of 7 format, so I'm used to the older style of things.
No, fair enough, and the logic is completely sound. I understand. Yeah, the mental battle to have to beat a team twice in a best of 7 is an incredible feat to achieve. So I get what you're saying. I'm sure there were reasons as to why they were picked, why the Storm Shadows picked the game advantage, but let's see. Right now, the Tempest doing a good job going 1-0 in front of nullifying the Storm Shadows' threat at the moment. But it's when they do start finding goals that the Tempest become a little bit exposed. Can they thwart it? Time. That's a really nice, well-worked passing maneuver. It does leave them wide open, though. There's the touch from Action, and he'll follow it up again. I think he just had to let it go in.
Well, certainly so, and I'll throw this as well, where the disadvantage actually comes to the Storm Shadows in some sense as well. This is their warm-up game, and you know, if the Tempest come out swinging warm, suddenly your best of 7 becomes outright a best of 5 here. The hard work that you've done in the day has essentially been null and void. And you know, if the Tempest come out swinging warm, suddenly your best of 7 becomes outright a best of 5 here. The hard work that you've done in the day has essentially been null and void. it becomes a straight shooter of a best of 5, and you've given the Tempest a psychological advantage because they've actually taken the game off you, and based on earlier results, still, they've improved the results here. They've got belief, the sense of importance that they can finally do it. You do not want to give that underdog that sense of belief.
It's the belief that kills you, Danny, but it's the belief that gives you the drive, the hunger to go on and achieve. And Samez, brilliant goal at the near post, flies in high from the right. And after P's slightly weak clearance, Samez steams in, forces it home, and it's the perfect start for the RAF Tempests.
Well. Is this going to be the moment where we sit here and look at it? The questions now rattling through Envy, Cedric and Pierce's heads right now is what can we do? What is going to be the immediate response here? They have 2 quick shots here, low boost right throughout the Tempest until really has picked that up here. And you know what here, we barely even had a time to breathe and celebrate the goal that essentially would pick players up here. That action really has all produced here, and essentially they're saying to the Storm Shadows, you can't have simple rotations, you can't put us under pressure more than what 2 phases of play here. Big signs here already in this grand final.
Could be first game jitters, could be the warm-up game, as you said, for the Storm Shadows, but the Tempests are looking hot, they're looking ready, they're looking hungry. And are the Tempests going to finish at the top of the Interservice leaderboard after Qualifier 1? What a moment that would be for them. The Storm Shadows now really up against it. 47 seconds to go. It doesn't look like they're going to score a first, and in fact the Tempests back themselves a third. Really credited with that one, but it was a good demo from his teammate there to open up the space for him. I think it was Action who did, yes, demo Cedric out the way, and it's 3-0, and game 1 done and well, game 2 technically done and dusted here.
Certainly is. And if you were sitting there just watching the previous stream, it was 12 goals to 3 on aggregate. And as that shot rattles through here, hasn't went on in here. Twice the Tempest kept the Shadows shut out in the opening 2 games, 4-0 and 2-0. They've essentially found the perfect midpoint here, as that one will rattle through. A consolation surely at this point, but the point really needs to be said here. If the Tempest can keep this up here for 2 more games here still, never mind the 3, I think the Storm Shadows might be looking at this as their first defeat against the Tempest of 2026.
Potentially, I don't see them scoring 2 more, but you never know with this roster. Envy, 1-on-1 with Samez, forces the 50 low, and Cedric has a chance for a solo now. If they can find the goal in the next couple of seconds, you never know, and that one is high. Samez with some work to do. It's a beautiful touch by Samez. Just takes all the sting out of the play there from the RAF Storm Shadows perspective, and it will be the Tempest 1-1, and that lead advantage that we spoke about at the start of the game gone just like that. The RAF Tempests are hunting for success here.
That's why I spent probably a good sort of 2 minutes still on talking about the importance of it, never mind the gameplay outright of that decision making, and now we're going to see it in sort of in fact of what's going to occur here. The decency of it for the Storm Shadows is right. They've seen what the Tempest is going to decide as their game plan, and that's at least beneficial in that regards here. But what is unusual about it, what's uncharacteristic of this lineup, there wasn't the same va-va-boom here.
In terms of the Storm Shadows, like intensity, or just the way they play?
It felt flat.
I don't necessarily disagree with you that time round, Danny, to be honest with you. It's not necessarily that they played bad, just that they didn't hit the level that we know that they can hit. And the Tempest put them in trouble from the start, really.
The best way to probably describe it is, do you know when you open sort of a tin of fizzy Coke and you let it sit for a bit, you still have the bubbles, you still have the little sparkle off it, and you still have flavour, but it's not that sort of lovely feeling as you've just taken it from the fridge in that cold, refreshing drink here. The Storm Shadows have essentially let themselves simmer and let the, shall we say, the carbonate escape too easy. Gone too fancy here, potentially.
I do love your analogies, Danny, I'll be honest with you. You come up with some great stuff, I'll be honest.
Well, it's always nice to have the compliment from the Peter Drury of the RLC.
Oh, well, I mean, let's not push them out too far, shall we? I mean, Peter Drury's the GOAT commentator. I wouldn't go that far. But thank you.
Well, he didn't deny it. And the compliments powers to still be calling. Unfortunately, Valentine's Day has went and passed, but so has the birthday for the man himself. But if you wanted to get him the Christmas gift, you could, of course, vote him for RAF Community Person of the Season if you want for, I think, the 3rd season running. I don't know who else is going to win it. But mind you, the gameplay here still. It's been back, it's forth, but like that analogy, there hasn't been enough bubbles to essentially rise to the moment.
Also, wonderful effort from Cedric. And time again, he continues to pop up with crucial goals for his team. And the pinch from P sets him up wonderfully. And what speed, what precision from Cedric. That's what they needed.
Well, about a week ago, Playbo sat there and talked about coverage curses. I hope you enjoyed that one if you're potentially listening. As the tutor of the man himself, Cedric, at least will be looking forward to that goal. That compilation certainly will be building up for goal of the competition itself here, as Envy looking to join into the fray itself. But Sam is that one stuck to the ground, statuesque-like, gets it away, and just now we have the competition that we've all hoped for.
And all of a sudden they've loosened up. They look more dangerous. They look more like themselves. What a difference one goal makes, and the Tempest all of a sudden pinned back inside their own half. Action forcing the ball away. Good defending from him. Very impressive player has Action. There's been another good signing for this Tempest side. And there is Samus with the equaliser. Action with the assist, just as I was complimenting him as well. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant series. 1-1.
This is incredible by the Tempest. We haven't seen that type of repartee of the game since the Interservice LAN final 2 years ago, when they were essentially a goal away from winning it outright here to deny the Aurea Storm Shadows' essentially start of domination of the competition. But I was going to point out as well too, as this ball here should be saved away here, it hasn't. P with a free shot does get tipped away. I would like to bring your minds back to Germany of last year. You know, it wasn't until they started scoring goals against the French here still, before the Storm Shadows started, felt that freedom, the looseness to play here, and that started their campaign out right here. We're having a similar sort of reaction and response here.
Absolutely right, and they're going to need it. They're going to need the confidence. They're going to need the momentum to start flowing, because the Tempest are so good at just stumping a team momentum once they get those demos in, once they apply the suffocation, the pressure on you. They're so good at it, but they're in danger now, and Action's there again. Reedy combining with Action to deny them. Samus going up for the ball as well. Dangerous. Action completely low on boost. He's not to know that. Cedric steams in, and Action does so well to keep that one out. Beautifully done. The Tempest survived that scare, but here comes Envy straight back at them, onto net, and this man is a magician.
I was so confused there. I was looking for the last man defender in the form of Samus. I think he actually made him disappear just outright by the sheer aura, as some of the kids would say these days. Right when he was up, shot straight in, went on home. But all that work the Tempest has put in here to get themselves into this sort of game on series, they need to find the second goal. I would argue, say, within the next sort of 35 seconds, if not here. Then we have problems going into the business end of this final outright.
Cedric forcing a double commit between Reedy and Action. Envy thinks better of that challenge. Goes off the ceiling, pinches goalward as well. Sam is there to clear. Sam is solid performance today. That pinch though from Cedric. Straight back to Action. P misses. Action limited boost. Cedric doesn't know that though, and does get the blocked touch. There's Envy again in defense, calming things down. There was a chance for Reedy as well at the back post. He was sneaking in, Danny. But no, not that time.
No demo either. We saw that in the Shadows match, and it was a crucial, pivotal moment in Game 3 and 4 to seal the game right off. Quick shot to the backboard here, as they know the Tempest need the push for one final play, and the Storm Shadows are using that to their advantage here. To the halfway line it goes. Up is Samus at the backboard. Cedric low and boost himself this time around. Back for Reedy. The action's there. It's waiting. It's for the taking. And P has just essentially put the nail in the coffin. Sets up Cedric, and the two-time champions look to go back-to-back here.
The response to losing that first game was phenomenal from the RAF Storm Shadows. They used their chances well. They rode the wave of Tempest pressure and the comeback attempt thwarted, and they will take this game and the lead back to them as well. 2-1 in the series, and they are 2 more wins away from a qualifier championship point. Incredibly done.
And Joe, what was somewhat looked at this moment here, and the frustration bit of it is if you've been following the Tempest, as long as nobody longer than Stelios himself here, you look at moments throughout their entire history, and it's the same story. They get themselves in positions. How are they going to finish the job off? They just don't. Now, this is essentially a new lineup, fresh faces, fresh minds, and hopefully a fresh execution of the game plan and strategy, the way to beat the Storm Shadows. But it's experience in this sort of big matchups here that once again the Storm Shadow closed out the game through essentially being down 1-0 and capitalised by through pressure alone here for that mistake to go 2-1 up.
Indeed, that first goal from Cedric is what set everything alight. And Envy's got another chance here. He'll put that one back onto net. Cedric reads it, and you can see the chemistry that these Storm Shadows players have when they're playing at their best. They're reading each other's touches. They're communicating very, very well. And they're showing the level. They have it in there. And the Tempest have it all to do now to try and regroup and respond. I wonder if we'll see a timeout in this series, Danny. No one's used one yet.
Well, based on the nature of the way things are, other than the LAN finals itself, I would actually suggest here we're not going to see any form of a timeout. I think that both sides want this done and dusted and essentially prepared to give it all on the pitch without a break or a pause. And there's Samus once again taking the lead for the Tempest.
Pure aggression. Reedy sees the double commit. Knows Samus is gonna control the ball there and make sure that all Samus has got to do is roll that one low onto the ground. And I think it was Pete at the back there that could do nothing on his own, but tried to avoid the demo and recover in time. 1-0 to the Tempest. Just what they would have needed now. It's a good response from them. Up goes P for the response though. Forced to Cedric, goes high. P will remain in the play. Is it going to waterfall down? No. Instead, P gets a touch that can force the Cedric. P back into the middle as well. Action up, Cedric up. And there's constant pressure, but the Tempest survived that scare.
And that's the clear that I was talking about. We were watching the lower final between the Shadows and Tempest, the way to reset the play here. Now it's given a much more easier line for the Tempest to have the 50 play pressure. Now on the defending champions of the Interservice outright here. Shot by Sames, wide it goes, in action awkward, and Sames not able to touch it. The direction and power of action was good. The defence, mind you, by Cedric keeps us at level. It should have been, mind you, 2-0.
Yeah, the Storm Shadows weathering the storm that time. Could have easily been a second. Should have been a second, as you quite rightly said, Danny. An action left onto his own backboard now. P with an incredible pinch in field action. Tries to read it, doesn't quite get there. NV beaten to it by Sames. Sames is playing a very solid series this time. Action. Up he goes. Down he goes. P 50s. Reedy 50 with NV gets through as well. Has a chance to centre here. Cedric alive to the danger. And forward he goes now. Looking to inspire a comeback once more from the RAF Storm Shadows. This next goal in this game is vital. Vital. Seems that the first team to score ends up winning the game, and it seems to be the rhythm of this series so far. Cedric again. Sideball attempt is on. Can he find the skim? He can't. Close though. And he will rotate away.
I think Cedric is looking to be sponsored by Gillette at some point. Close shaves all the way through here, but unfortunately a razor burn like here by P. He's having a quick sniping shot for the rebound. Envy up, and so far it's still in the Tempest's right side corner from their perspective at that current point. Shot, dribble, Samus off the wall here. It's Reedy just keeping the ball squeezed nice and tightly to the wall, just bounces kindly, and the deflection of the woodwork gives finally the second goal.
Come at another good time. That 50 from Reedy on Envy was a very, very good one. And it's top right. Top pins from action. Another super finish. And it makes this matchup even more interesting. Who's your money on? Is this set to go 2-2? I really don't know.
I hope you weren't asking me still. I'm sitting on the fence this time.
I don't want to sit on any fence. I just want to go home.
You want to go home? Joe, we should see Surreal for a bracket reset. Make him stay
No.
longer.
No, please, no.
That's all right. If the length of this one's too long, don't forget BFBS later on a few months' time here for plenty of action of weeks coming through. Interservice Qualifier 2. Still kindly remind me and everybody at home when that would be, because if you're enjoying the action here, because it will be wrapping up in about 30 minutes' time, but it's not over, of course, for at least 2026 here.
Qualifier 2 is currently scheduled to be somewhere between between BFBS Pro League and the BFBS Pro League qualifiers, sorry, and roughly August time. Dates TBC for that one, so stay tuned in the Interservice Rocket League Discord server, or indeed on our socials and our YouTube, and you'll see everything as it comes.
You know what I've just realised?
Go on.
Oh, that's a third goal. I wasn't realising that one. But I think that may be this game done and dusted. I feel like we've got the Triple Crown or the 4 majors now set up here.
It actually does feel that way. And what a cool statement to make, by the way. What a cool thing to say. Like, you know, that is the ecosystem that we have in Military Rocket League now, which is an incredible thing, by the way. 8 teams that we have in the RF, by the way, now. 8 rosters. If you include the development team too.
Well, 8 just on the RAF. We've seen, what, 4, give or take, by the Navy, moving up from originally 2s from last season BFBS, and I think the British Army's up to 4 as well. I think they potentially hovered around 2 and 3 just as outright for just the Interservices alone here. So it's growing massive here, and Joe, that may be the conversation was used as 1 ICs to work out, is it a Triple Crown or the 4 majors sort of setup? If so, who's going to hold them all? But that's a different conversation. More importantly here, the Tempest has scaled away here from championship point, essentially. And eventually we got to look at the reality of it is can it be done here?
It's certainly doable for the Tempest. They've taken 2 now. Excuse me. They've taken 2 now on this Storm Shadows roster. And they've come, and technically they've done it from a game behind as well. So we are all square, but mentally, the Tempest will think and feel that they're winning, and they can use that and channel that to their benefit, to stay confident, to stay on top of the Storm Shadows. But here comes P. P looking to make an incredible solo play. It was a really good effort as well, but it was well saved. I think it was action again at the back there. Envy not buying Samez's fake. Cedric marches on, collects the boost. Demo into P. Chance not saved by Samez. 1-0 Storm Shadows.
You just saw the contortions of Samez's car, trying as much as difficulty as can. But the realization of the Storm Shadows, because they knew they were getting physically muscled out of the way in the last game. But just like that there, back it goes, and now you've got to ask yourself, you're the Tempest here. You talk about, psychologically being up on top. They will go outright here. It doesn't matter. It's the best of 3 environment here. Let's get the job done here. Now we've got a score here to bring ourselves back into evens here.
And P was 1 versus 1 when the smoke cleared. The challenge was good. That's a lovely pinched effort again, and Samuels has to work really hard. And another excellent save. And the follow-up shot from Envy is a good one. P can't follow it in. Envy going for the demo on really doesn't happen. Action following up on Cedric. Chance for the Tempest. 1-1.
That was almost like you were watching essentially an old-fashioned ballerina. Nicely played, right up and down. But the demo just to remove the defender. The creativity just to get the play in the right order as well too. Improv at its finest there too. They did not design the play as originally hoped there. But still, we've got a nice packet give and go here. Could be 2-1, shall be 2-1.
The Tempest flying forward here. They think they can do it, they feel they can do it. An action with an incredible finish into that bottom right, rifled home. Incredibly done. And this is where they want to be, in these positions, having the opportunities to close out games against the RAS Storm Shadows. Can they do it though, is the question. They've been here before. They've got to now firm up their defense, solidify rotations, and play simple, effective Rocket League. It's there for them, Danny.
Don't disagree with you, and that's a great save. They keep it away, and in Bay 2 here, Cedric shot needs a bit of cover here. The Tempest, Samus low boost, but they don't know that, the Storm Shadows. But it's a good save for the Temporary. Second phase of play gone as it's been saved away. Cedric passes it over to Envy. 3 and 4 nicely linked up, and that's why they're the champions.
Smart play between Cedric P and Envy here. P, the initial touch, it fell to Envy, and Cedric, who played in Envy, and that first touch onto the backboard to play it behind Samez is a deliberate touch to commit Samez off the backboard. He bit, and Cedric knew that, and he knew the shooting opportunity was on, and they level it up again. That's a good response from the Storm Shadows, and as you said, that's championship quality. And Envy gets a second reset on there as well somehow. Cedric will challenge Reedy, and they come straight back at the Tempest now, who now they are the ones feeling the pressure that the Storm Shadows are putting on them.
Well, it's just a question of when it was happening, and an infield pass and play. You talk about the old P and Cedric, the former rookie, now established veteran, setting up as captain, and that may be the goal that could just send them to match and championship point.
Still, though, plenty of time for the Tempest to respond. Next goal, absolutely vital. P flicks that one goalwards. He's there again. If Cedric can get a bump here, there may be some real danger. And Envy one-on-one with Samus. Great dive by Envy. P collecting pads and will challenge here. Great challenge by P as well. P's had an absolutely super series, but it's looped into the empty Storm Shadows net just when they least expected it. 3-3, and this game takes another twist.
That, unfortunately, is poor positional play by the Storm Shadows. You know, when you essentially put a grizzly bear into the corner, it will react. And finally, the actions clause in play. But I'll put it this way very kindly here. The Tempest here, you know, I described them taking sort of essentially an essence of what the Shadows were, of the historic sense here. I think the Tempest has found a different gear that we've never seen before.
They've prepared for this moment with hours and hours of scrims and replays. They feel they've earned the right to take the throne. Of course, there'll be no name transfer officially happening tonight. That will still require a token match and or a win at the LAN, but they will feel could potentially be their year. Cedric into the roof of the net, and he says, absolutely not on my watch. Action commits. Samez a bit slow trying to get the boost there. Meant he was awkward for Cedric's shot, and he still had work to do, mind you, Danny. He still had work to do, and with 4-4, and another twist in this dramatic game.
Don't want to maybe spoil it, but if you're only listening through the audio here, this is not the Interservice 1v1 here, with the scoreline as wild and as ludicrous. This is the grand final, and Joe Watt here, we've seen over the years, and you know, defensive teams or average sort of type finals essentially leading to blowouts. This is the first time we've ever seen a final outright here, other than exception at moments here against the Army's #1 side against the RAF Storm Shadows. This is actually, you know, back and forth, nip and tuck. It's been closer. Hasn't been a moment where you sat here and said they've been outplayed for a long period of time here.
No, and that's a credit to both of these two sides. It shows you once more the depth and quality of RAF Rocket League. And I can tell you, by the way, behind the scenes, this is not even the strongest rosters that we're going to have across the year. There's plenty more talent coming in that will improve these two rosters, you know, which is a crazy statement to make when you look at what you're witnessing on your screens right now. But enough said about that.
No, I'm going to follow up with that. Can they stop tuning into rank with me still? I like points. You know rightly what I'm referring to.
No.
Yes, you do.
Overtime, anyone?
Oh, it depends. Are you offering?
I'm offering it one. Oh, maybe not. The backflip from Cedric frees up Samus for the shots, and 5-4 with 39 seconds to go. Not like this. And will it be a Tempest double match point, double qualifying championship point?
Oh, the luxury of sometimes not being a player. You can laugh, you can joke, not being in the heat at the moment. But is it going to be 5-5? Of course not. when you need that utmost goal, it just sometimes slip away from your fingertips. Drop down by, of course, Pierce himself. Doesn't occur here. But that costly mistake here, is it going to be damaging to Cedric and his performance here? We've seen
Oh my God.
when it gets sticky, it may get awkward. But if that went in still, rightly as you exclaimed, that would have been OT.
Is it the Tempest day? Is it finally the turn of the RAF Tempest to take a position at the top of the qualifying leaderboard? This one staying up for now. Envy infield to P. P with a skim. It's there. It's almost redirected in. And the Tempests are back to within one. Championship qualification, or qualifier championship point. And yes, it's not officially a title, but for them, this would mean everything.
Joe, what if it was a Liquipedia page, it would be sitting there right and proudly with the first place with the logos respectively saying who they've beaten. But let's not cast our minds, and just on Interservice alone, the Tempest has never outright beaten the Storm Shadows in terms of a tournament win. That has not happened. They haven't done it in a token match before. They haven't done it in BFBS when it comes in terms of LANs or the finals itself. No, that hasn't happened. AFI never played against each other. All the ifs, all the no's. Well, finally, we might have a yes to that question. Can they finally beat them? Well, they're one game away, as we've seen. Can they, for the next 5 minutes, play simple, effective gameplay here?
And there'll be a feeling running through Samez and G-Wood's head right now. They've been in this situation before. They felt what it's like to lose from here. How much will that play on their minds? They're in position. They're ready to go. They're back to within one. Can they do it?
Just one kickoff, one goal, one moment is all that you wish for in this situation. Just to have the opportunity. And as you rightly said, the history, the scars of the Tempest's name has somewhat transferred, no matter the player. Finally, the break, the curse itself here is action. Trying to go down the line here. The Storm Shadows are playing very cautious early at that too. Almost similar hard to game one it was. But here, right now, Envy to start the motion, and it's going to the backboard. Cedric saved off the line.
P follows up the play. Cedric will put that one onto the backboard. Samez waiting. Nice flick downfield. Envy low on boost, and it's a really vital 50 between them two in action. Also was low. And this is a chance here for the Storm Shadows, and it's a brilliant effort on goal, a brilliant save by Reedy to match as well. And P will continue the press here. Cedric doesn't turn, maybe should be leaving the play. Instead, it's an open net for action, and it will convert, and it will be first blood here in Game 6 to the RAF Tempests.
5 years of RAF history is sitting here in this moment when the first ever Tempest lineup included Logan, Asher, the likes of Trinity, but it's captain of old, the man not on the pitch, but certainly in the VC, supporting his lads, the captain in the form of G-Wood. They've been here before, they've had leads before in the Interservice outright, in the final 2 years ago. I said they wanted the moment, they've got the moment. It's now a question of 5 minutes essentially of defence, or go for the second goal. There's the second. Now the two-time champions got to play here.
And the Tempests have stunned the RAF Storm Shadows. Samez tapping that one home for 2. And is their wildest dreams about to become a reality? 3 minutes and a half to control the emotions, to control the composure levels. It's there for them. They've been in a carbon copy scenario, equally, you know, in the scoreline being 2 goals up as well. And it was from here that it all went wrong. I don't see them making the same mistake, Danny.
Certainly don't. We were in the booth for that one when it happened. Saw the reactions from ourselves and the crowd and the audience simply in disbelief, shock. And it was the rookie at the time, Envy, stepping up. Cedric likewise too, pierced on his usual solid performance, but it is now 2 new rookies in the form of Action and Reedy outright taking the centre stage. We saw that in the RAF roster mania no more than what in January still. and it was the Reedy family sitting there celebrating, saying we're going to be here all year long. Well, they might be at the edge of their seats here as Cedric puts one goal back in, and now the fear starts to form.
Or does it? Can the Storm Shadows claw this one back from the brink of death? 2-1 to the Tempest. A clutch goal from Cedric. They need another. They need one more moment of magic. That's a centre from P. Nobody there to capitalise though. And Action's touch beats Cedric. P will cut though. Cedric still has the boost. Looks to find Envy. It was a fine effort out of pass as well. Envy bumping away Reedy. Pierce. Infield it goes. Cedric diving in. Close. But no cigar. Action with a very intelligent flick downfield. And now Samus can come away. Intercepted by Envy. A chance for P to shoot on goal. And they come back again. The Storm Shadows don't know when they're beaten. And I can't believe I've just said those words for a Storm Shadows roster. But they're showing their character here. 2-0 down, 2-2, 2 minutes to play. Can this get any more dramatic?
We've been here before. We've been here before. And we might see the first statement response by the Tempest to grab the lead back after dropping a 2-goal lead. History is not kind, as Pierce rightly knows. Action drops in. It says shaky defending here. A long distance clear this time around. Not the same control as we witnessed about 20 seconds ago. The cleanness, the silkiness of the passing play at the Storm Shadows was not there, but brute force was, as the demo by Cedric. P's backflip, demo's riding through. Envy done his job. Now it's the captains.
Goes Cedric, beautiful first touch, gets the reset, and Samus again claws the ball out from underneath his own crossbar. How many times have we said that in the series? He is having a clutch series of his life right now. And Cedric there again. Action needs to clear the ball away. He does. Only as far as P. And the following shot sent downfield back towards Envy, who will take his time now. Samus tries to rush him. The shot from Reedy. Samus making them all awkward. A chance here once more for Action. Follow up from Reedy. Is there a Tempest person there? There is. But they can't find the opener.
Still in the corner. Still trying to find a way. Up it goes, Reedy shot, and it's down the line. It's a foot race, and Samus will get there. Boost will be held instead, but it may be picked up by Cedric by the transfer of the rotation. Back it goes for Envy. Tip to the sidewall. He's looking to get a bit of purchase on the plate. One beaten. Action's backward. Awkward it goes, and Reedy won't get the boost unless the back corner has spawned. It did so this time. Pass one, pass two. Not happening. Not when Cedric's in this kind of mood.
Envy drops it down. P limited on boost here. Samus with the shot. Cedric will have time to clear this one away. Gets a double. P collects boost. Vital 50 from P there. That was a really important touch. Up goes Cedric. It's down. P takes his time. Measures the next play. 50's right where Envy and Action are lurking. Envy collects the boost. Danger here for the Tempest. If he can find the bump, he cannot. And we do go to overtime. One goal for the Tempest will do it. One goal for the Storm Shadows will keep them alive.
It's survival. It's not about living here in Action. Shot, saved, and pushed away by arguably one of the most important players in any of the inter-service teams. That was Envy's contribution. The second one is awkward. If that went in, he will never hear the end of it. And it will batter and scar any future plays. Cedric will just have a faint glancing blow at that. Back it goes. Can you believe this?
The battle continues. P beats Action, who was last man there. Got to be doing better. That shot was on target. That would have been the saviour goal from P. And that's a beautiful shot. Flashes across the face of goal again. Envy can see Samus limited on boost. Rushes him away. Falls to P again. Into the corner it goes. Two Tempest players there. None of them hit it, and Action makes the clearance again. Only as far as Envy, and it's three players on the backboard. Real panic setting in now for the RAF Tempest. They've got to be a bit more calmer. They've got to control the nerves and find a way out of this Storm Shadows press.
They've just signed the flag to the Storm Shadows. Essentially, it is a do or die moment. They're prepared to put everything into it, and if they do drop it, I worry for them. But it is, unfortunately, they have that stone to carry. But it's Action who will push that boulder further down the hill. He has gotten the save, pushed it down now. Samus to take over. No infield pass, double commit here. And it is the two-time champions showing a bit of flesh wound here. Scarred at that one, but it is merely just a flesh wound.
The pressure just turning between both of these two sides. You don't know where this next goal is going to come from. 1 minute it's the Storm Shadows putting all the pressure on. The next it's the Tempests. Real drama, real theatre, live here on the RAF Storm Shadows channel. Envy, a little bit of composure, really nicely done. Frees up the play for Cedric now. Up he comes, 1 versus 1 with Action, chooses to fake. And Samez can watch that one sail harmlessly past the back post. And Envy now getting absolutely bumped. 1-on-1 shots by Reedy into the back of the net. And the RAF Tempests win Interservice qualifier number 1 in dramatic fashion. Deep into overtime, a rocket into the right. Tempests on top.
Let that settle in. That wasn't a moment. That was history. That's what legacies are. We've seen plenty of times. Just what 2 years ago, up by 2 in a similar fashion, let it drop and suddenly never seen close. They had chances, moments you thought maybe, just maybe, but no, it didn't happen. We've seen in the last, 5 months there, they've got closer and closer and closer in that sense of genuine belief. We don't need belief. It's reality, and it's just hit the Storm Shadows right in the face, and now they've got the first real problems, arguably, in the RAF side of things. Can they respond? Can they now pick themselves up for the second time as well? Twice in a row, they have dropped the opening qualifier.
I'm sure this will be a familiar feeling for the Storm Shadows for last season as well, when the Army took that first qualifier as well. We did see what that went on to mean at the LAN. Storm Shadows fired up, ended up retaining the title, of course. It's a long old season. The Tempests have done it this time round. There is, of course, no official title for this, but they will feel a shift. They will feel a token maybe warming up, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they have to wait that long to be able to put a token match in. But in any case, the Tempest will finish qualifier 1 on top. The question is, can they retain it? Can they develop it? Can they build on that lead? Can they build their points? And who knows, can they even go into the LAN at the end of the year as top seed, most likely to win? All questions, Danny, that at some point we are going to need to answer. But what a series overall to end what has been a cracking 2 days of action.
Well, we've sat here and we've seen moments of outright golden. You know, we'll sit here and look at, at least 5 shots here and, a debate here, is that shot of the tournament? But now we're sitting here and there's a conversation of change of the guard here. We've never really seen that by the British Army. We haven't really seen that by the Royal Navy's sort of top rosters. The RAF has led throughout the history of it. I'm genuinely asking that question. You sat here, what is going to be next? Well, we've sat plenty of times, BFBS, AFI, and of course as well, the next inter-service qualifiers. So much action, plenty of time to work out what and who is going to be the #1 side.
And on that bombshell, no better time to say good night and thank you all for an incredible qualifier 1. We'll see you on this channel for qualifier 2 and everything else in between. Good night.
BFBS Forces News join KFOL patrols in the north of Kosovo.
We're here to create a safe and secure environment for the people in Kosovo and the people of Kosovo.
Our job, fly and fight from the home base, and we've got to be able to do that in whatever conditions.
This training is mutually beneficial to both sides. For the riflemen themselves, it's about getting that valuable training in the desert.
At the heart of Lympstone Parade Square, the King's Squad, and there could be no more special guest of honour than His Majesty the King.
And whilst I'm not moving the controls at all, I can certainly learn from what I'm seeing as to how a manoeuvre should be flown.
This year, 337 recruits have completed training. That's a first-time pass rate of 99.7%, which is incredibly high.
So we have a philosophy on the ship called the way of the warrior sailor. It argues that in order to create morale, you must love and value everybody.
This beam here came from HMS Indefatigable. The beams from the Armada were eventually integrated into the pub.